duking it out for 2 final spots with Joyride. Your Maxxis Slopestyle final getting ready to go. 10 years of the Slopestyle finals going on here, and we're looking forward to a big and banging year for our 10th year. Brad Shea joined by Cameron McCall in the house. Cameron, legend of Freeride. You've won this thing twice, kind of like a Thug Life style.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
Right?
I got lucky 2 times.
Well, it's not the only 2 times you've won something, but how special is it out here being in Winter Park? I mean, especially a place that you've gone out here and you've won it twice.
Yeah, I've got great memories here. I also had some bad memories here. Snapped my leg in half.
I wasn't even going to bring that one up, dude.
But like, you know, personally, I've gone through a roller coaster of emotions at this place, and it holds a special spot in my heart. You know, Winter Park, I've always loved this place, and the crowd that shows up, that's the reason why this place is such a prestigious venue for a slopestyle contest. Look behind us. Look how many people showed up. Even though we postponed a few hours, it's awesome.
Well, and then you look at also what has kind of gone on with the weather today. We were supposed to get this thing started earlier today, but unfortunately because of the wind, backed up. But now, by postponing it and doing it later, things are going to happen. These crowds have been pretty patient all day.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, obviously, when we did postpone, nobody's really happy about that. We wanted the event to go off when it was supposed to. But looking at the conditions we have right now, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise. We would have seen a final that would have been at the same level or maybe a little bit beneath the qualifiers that we had yesterday. But now, looking at how everybody was riding this course during warm-ups, this is going to be something else. You thought yesterday was amazing. Today's going to be on a whole nother level.
Well, and also we talk about, of course, in memory of Kelly McGarry, Magaza. This is a Magaza course. So, I mean, how special is that, too? You see Magaza forever about this course. Take us through this thing.
He was such an iconic figure in the mountain bike world, not only for his accomplishments on 2 wheels, but mainly for the person that he was. He touched so many people. I was walking up the course earlier today, and I was talking to a kid who said, last year I got a chance to ride Trestle Bike Park with Kelly McGarry. He said, I'm going to hold on to that helmet. I'm never going to wear it again. I'm going to cherish it forever. And that's just really cool to hear from a kid to have been so touched by Kelly's just great personality and the energy that he carried around with him. So to think that some of the screws, some of the nails on this course were drilled in by Kelly McGarry himself, it just adds a whole nother level of, you know, specialness to this event.
Oh, for sure. And talking with the riders and talking with a good friend of Kelly, talking with Carson Storch about that very thing. And he's moved being out here and being part of it. And there is something that is visibly missing without Kelly here, because we've been part of this for all the years. And to not have him out here, it's a tough one, but the riders are ready to throw down because you've been out checking out the course. You like the course? You like what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, I love the course. When you come to this event, all the riders do expect a course that's flowy, fun, with crazy amounts of opportunities for new tricks and, you know, new links to be possible as well, like this on-off box and stuff like that. So this is a contest that's usually right in the middle of the season, and it really kind of like happens at the right time to where we know what to expect, but somehow the riders still figure out a way to blow our minds.
All right, well, so let's talk about the way they're going to blow the minds. There's a competition format. Let's take it through, and we'll show you here our competition. All right, just kind of breaking it down for you. I had a little technical difficulties on that, but breaking down the format, I mean, it's not a difficult format to understand, but it is a pretty cool format when you break it down on what's going on and what we're looking for today, right?
Absolutely. It's 20 riders. We boiled it down from 50 yesterday. We were watching 100 runs. They each had 2 runs yesterday. Same story today. 2 runs, best run counts. The judges have a whole list of criteria that they're using to come up with these scores for each run. Amplitude is one of them, how high you're going above the ramp. difficulty, so the tricks you're doing and where you choose to do them. You can do the same trick on a different part of the course and it may score higher because it's a more consequential, difficult feature. Variety of those tricks. You can't do the same trick off of each one of these features. You got to mix it up and have it be balanced. So you'll see a lot of riders doing a regular variation and then doing the opposite version of that trick as well. And use of course, there are some options on the course where you can kind of blast the second feature as a quarter pipe or ride it as a wall ride. And some of the berms, riders are either transferring into the berms or scrubbing these rollers, so that's use of course. Progression, we all know the sport is on a ridiculous level right now, but to win a contest, especially one as prestigious as this, you have to have progression. You have to be doing something that the judges aren't expecting. And execution.
Yeah.
This year, execution has been more important than ever because everybody is so dialed. You have to have that precision. You have to catch those pedals early, spot your landing, land smooth without any sketch outs of your tires, without any head bobs. So the judges definitely being very picky about the execution this year.
So that's kind of the breakdown right there, showing you what the judges are looking for. And speaking of judges, well, third member of our team, Lorette Nickel, had a chance to catch up Paul Rack, the head judge, and here's how things kind of went down with that one.
Brad J., thank you so much. Paul Rack, head judge out here. Just wanted to talk to you about your responsibilities. What are you guys looking for out here?
For sure. Well, pretty much there's 3 judges that are doing the judging. I, as a head judge, oversee them. They're looking at the whole run from top to bottom. Every trick, every obstacle needs to be tricked, and they pretty much decide on a score once they finish down at the bottom.
Okay, now how important is it for these riders out here to have opposite tricks?
Yeah, opposite tricks are pretty important. At this level of event, pretty much need to have opposite trick or some sort of variation of opposite trick.
Okay, when the name of the game is progression, do you like what you're seeing out here, and how do you judge that?
Yeah, absolutely. Progression is one of the criteria we look at, and every time we come to these events, week after week, month after month, these kids are progressing. So the more progression, the better it is, the better the event looks.
Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Well, on a somber note, to bring this up to your attention, in February of this year, the mountain bike community lost one of the most respected and beloved members. Kelly McGarry died while mountain biking in his native New Zealand. Kelly's been a prominent member of the Winter Park mountain bike community for years. He designed the most recent slopestyle courses at Colorado Freeride Festival and competed in Winter Park slopestyle since 2008. This was Kelly's course. And while not with us here today competing, the slopestyle course serves as a testament to his dedication to bringing out the best not only in himself, but the entire slopestyle community.
I think Kelly, all in all, he's one of the guys that reshaped our sport.
Kelly was an integral part ever since he arrived on the scene as an athlete. I mean, his smiling face, his cheers mate, his always good attitude was not only refreshing for the crew, for the other athletes around him. Anybody he came in contact with was just blown away by his good spirit.
He's always the one who only wanted to go big.
One of the pioneers of Rampage, one of the best overall bike riders. He was around for years, friends with everyone, and just blew everyone's minds when he was on course.
I have the utmost respect for him from his professionalism as an athlete, course builder, a businessman.
Such a pioneer legend means a lot to mountain bike.
It's a big influence here. All the locals loved him.
The community really almost considered him part of the trail crew, part of the community here, almost a local. And I remember arriving and Kelly was down on his hands and knees drilling one of his ramps, and this little kid came up to him and was just like, "Hey, are you Kelly McGarry?" He looked up, beautiful smile, stopped everything he did and just totally engaged. And that really, for me, just summed it up. It was like he was busy, he was being a course builder, and then suddenly he was just a bike rider and a beautiful human being.
Oh, Kelly has meant the world to the Freeride Festival.
This course, the way it's built, it's kind of built on his legacy, Like this is what he worked on for so long.
He's built the course, competed on it, perfected the course, got better and better every year, so.
Still kind of feel like we're riding his course.
And Tom Hay is here, he built this course, and it's exactly what Kelly would have wanted, and so it's continuing him in a way. There's not enough I can say. He's one of my best friends, and I'm really sad still that he's gone, but I just do whatever I can all the time to carry on Kelly's ways, and I just think he's such a good dude, and he did so much for the sport, and yeah, can't thank him enough.
Colorado Freeride Festival 2016 We're 10 years deep. You know, back 10 years ago, we made a lot of promises to the industry about what we were going to do in our bike park with this event, how we're going to be supporting the athletes, the public, providing an experience unlike any other. We had a lot of old cross-country, hybrid, all mountain trails. Made big promises to the industry that we're going to make Phase 1 and Trussell Bike Park into the best bike park in the United States. And here we are. Amazing 4-day festival celebrating everything that we do here. Have amazing level of riders here for the FMB. We've opened up events to all different ages, all different ability levels. At the same time, Colorado Freeride Festival is happening this year. We're going into Phase 2, another 10 miles of trail on the backside of Trussell. All kinds of good stuff. So 10 years of hard work doesn't come without a lot of people putting their heart and soul into this. So hats off to bike park crew, patrol, senior management here, all the athletes that show up and race, all the families that bring their kids up, and all the spectators that continue to support what we're doing, not only in the bike park, but at Colorado Freeride Festival. Have a great day. Enjoy the festival. Peace.
Denver Health East Grand Community Clinic and Emergency Center. Conveniently located at the base of Winter Park Resort, next to Ski Patrol. Our expertly trained staff provides patient-centered care and has all of the resources in place to put you back on the mountain. Convenient medical care when and where you need it. For information, call 970-726-4299. For a life-threatening emergency, dial 911. Denver Health. Level 1 care for all.
And welcome back. Your Colorado Freeride Festival. Your Maxxis Slopestyle final. 10 years of this baby been going on. It's hard to believe. And that was the first year. You won the first year, Cam, when you're out here, right?
Yeah, that happened.
How weird was that, coming out for the first time? Had you been to Winter Park before that?
No, when I heard that there was an event here, I was like, well, that's a great excuse to go check out that bike park. You know, anytime there's a slopestyle competition that pops up at a well-known bike park, it's a great excuse to go check it out. So 07, when we got that email saying, hey, there's going to be a slopestyle at Winter Park, you know, we're all excited. And it's been 10 events since then. You know, 9 events. This is the 10th one.
Yeah, 10 years,
and,
right?
You know what? It's just built in excitement ever since then. And now it's one of the most favorite contests on the circuit to all these riders out here.
Well, the names kind of changed. Let's take a look at some of the guys we're going to be seeing out here. I mean, back in those days, those names were not guys you saw out here.
No, not one single one of them. Isn't that crazy? The sport has changed a lot, and definitely all the faces and all the names have changed as well.
There's your Diamond Series standings right now. Nikolai Rogakin, he's having such a solid year. And the surprise team, Mac Fredrickson, not really a surprise. He's got the talent. See him in that second spot for the Diamond Series. And you got Brett Reeder in third. Tommy G holding down that fourth spot. Tomas Limoyne in fifth. Mehdi Ghani sixth. Simon in that seventh spot. Mazzari, who's not out here. So Mehdi, Simon, Anthony not out here competing. Torquato did not make it into the finals, and he's in that ninth spot. And Yannick not out here as well.
But, you know, 6 or 7 out of the top 10 showing up to this event from all over the world. That speaks volumes about this event in itself. So that's very impressive. It's a very rigorous series. So for any of these guys to be in the top 10 so far, they've really been putting in their work and sending it on a weekly basis.
Well, and it's pretty funny when you talk about a true international field. I mean, we really are an international field. 7 different countries being represented. You see 19 riders. And here's how it's going to go. This is the order and how these guys are going to drop here today. Emilio Hansen, he's going to start things up. Josh Holt, former BMX rider, he's turned to the big bikes now. What do you think about the list here, Cam?
I'm always really excited when one of our most exciting riders ends up qualifying in the last transfer spot, because that means we're going to start the competition out with a bang.
Oh, good point.
And tonight, you got to be kidding me. Emil Johansson from Sweden, one of the most exciting new talents on the circuit, period. He's done 2 contests in his life. He's 17. He got 5th at both of them. One was a gold, one was a diamond. So definitely on an upward trajectory. He's going to kick this thing off right.
And you talk about Emilio, that's a good point. You bring up 5th at those 2 5th places, Prime Line and 26 tricks. So decent names, big contests, and he came out top 5. That's solid stuff.
It's about as solid as it gets. So rolling through the start list as well, we've got returning champion Carson Storch from the United States, Ryan Nyquist.
What?
You know, can you believe that? You were talking
about
none of those names are the same names you would have seen in 07. But if you look at BMX contests from like 98 or something like that, that's a name you would have seen on the top of the podium, and he has not slowed down. So much so that he's even transferred over to mountain bike slopestyle part-time as well. So he's fully on the FMB circuit as one of the regulars, and then all the way down there finishing in first place. Who's that guy? You ever heard of him, Brad?
Oh, yeah, Brett Reeder. Well, a guy that we haven't seen out here for a couple times, and he's already got a top finish, first place at the gold, so didn't even need to come out here and compete. Nikolai didn't need to come out, but they're both here, and they're going to be our final 2 guys. And I got to ask you people out here in Winter Park, are you ready to get this thing started, Winter Park? Are you ready to get this started? Because your Maxxis Slopestyle Finals, well, that starts right now.
In the United States, there's only one gold or diamond FMB event. One path for American riders to launch their professional career. One shot at receiving a coveted wild card to the Diamond Series. The Maxxis Slopestyle Open. In 2008, former FMB champion Brandon Semin won his first ever gold medal, launching the most successful career in freestyle mountain biking history. In 2013, Nikolai Rogatkin competed here at his first mountain bike event, and in the process landed the first ever cash roll in mountain bike competition. And last year, Carson Storch won his first slopestyle event and an invitation to the Diamond Series. This year, alongside former FMB champions and a handful of rookies, 2 BMX legends, 37-year-old, 16-time X Games medalist Ryan Nyquist and 27-year-old X Games silver medalist Drew Bezanson each have one last shot to earn a place in the final Diamond Series event. Will they beat much younger, more experienced athletes such as Nikolai Rogatkin, Brett Reeder, and Tomas Jinan? Or will another little-known rider walk away with a prize? Colorado Freeride Festival is the only event in the Western Hemisphere where unproven neophytes come head-to-head with the titans of mountain biking. The last 2 wild cards for the final Diamond event of the season are on the line. What will the story be?
I got goosebumps, Brad.
Wait, that was my line. I got goosebumps after that right now. All right, well, it's time to get this thing started. We've waited long enough. The wind's cooperating, and great fans in-house right now to start things off. Our first rider by way of Sweden, doing it for Cro-Mag, a 5th place at Prime Line, a 5th place at 26 tricks. This is Emil Johansson.
Emil Johansson adding to his run from qualifying with a backflip bar spin. That was one of the very few faults in his run from qualifying, a double bar spin on the quarter pipe. Coming into this first trick jump, a 360 double tail whip straight to pedal.
Oh.
The crowd's going nuts, Brad. The tension is building. An opposite tail above, a truck driver down. No, that was an opposite double tail up, so it was a regular tail up the step up, a 360 off the cannon. Finishing things off with a backflip double tail whip. Wow.
Off the
flawless.
Bat. You said it, Cam. You were the one who brought it up, saying love having a guy like that. He's kind of snuck under the radar. You knew he was going to bring big things, and he did just that. Let's hear it for Emil Johansson one more time. First run in the books.
This kid is going to be around this contest scene for a long, long time.
That is how you get it going. Let's take a look at the replay, starting it off on the wall ride.
So he did a backflip bar spin on the step down where he only had a straight backflip yesterday. So that was a regular tail up, giving him the opportunity to save this Well, we missed seeing it. There's the backflip double tail up on the last jump. But one of the highlights of this run and something that he improved from yesterday is doing an opposite double tail up on the dirt jump, the longest feature on the course.
So now yesterday we were said that we would be taking the top 16, but they had stepped that up to the top 20 because the scores were so close between 16 and 20, and you knew you had some high caliber riders in there. So Emil got himself in, and he'll be the first score in the books. Tough for the judges on this one. 82.6, your new leader and your first guy out of the books, posting in the 80s. Oh,
wow.
man.
Wow, wow, wow. Tough for the judges coming out with what could be one of the best runs of the day on the first one, trying to figure out what number to assign to that. Emil Johansson, man, just coming out swinging.
Well, now we got to turn our attention to Max May right there. Max May, he's from Germany, doing it from Maxxis. 14th at Glenride, 4th at Lublin. Here he is right now, dropping it next. Give it up for Germany's Max May.
A backflip, one-footed X up to one-footed can-can on the start step down. A tuck no-hander with good amplitude on the quarter pipe. Really glad they decided to take the top 20 because Max May finished 19th yesterday. Looked like an opposite double tail up on the first trick jump. Giving himself the ability to do a regular tail up and a flat drop flip down. The crowd's buzzing. Backflip tuck no-hander on the dirt jump into the cannon. 360 carrying speed into the last jump, Brad.
Final jump.
Whoa!
What?
First for slopestyle mountain biking. A windshield wiper, tail whip to tail whip back.
Oh my goodness. Talk about a banger on the last one. Take another look here.
Oh, look at this, an opposite double tail whip. So right there we know that he's good enough doing tail whips both directions where he can do an opposite double tail whip, but he absolutely blew our minds down here on the final jump. With a tail whip, catches it, kicks the tail whip back the other way. His feet go right to the pedals. Next level.
Next level indeed. Now where do you put that score right there?
These are the first two runs, Brad.
So he's trying to beat the 82 is 82.3 or 6 was that first score in for Emil Johansson. So he'll have the lead right now, but does Max May challenge that score?
How glad are we that they took the top 20?
Yeah. Well, when I saw that they did that last night, I was like, you know what? You look at the 4 names that were on the outside and putting these young guys in, this was a good step in the right direction for sure.
Well, they're making good use of this opportunity, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's, you got to look too with Max coming out with a solid run. So he's trying to beat the 82.6. So he's going to check in the 79.6. So he'll go into second place. 79.6 for Max right there.
Wow, nice work for Max May. The crowd's loving it.
What if you're the rest of the guys like this, like Josh Holt, who's ready to go?
Well, Brad, watching practice, warming up before these runs started, every one of these guys is adding something to their qualifying run. They utilized the low winds in this early practice session. I'm glad we prolonged this final.
Well, here we go. Next up to drop in from the BMX world, now on the big bike. First place at AT Showdown, doing it for Rockwell, it's Josh Holt.
Josh Holt starting things off with a truck driver on the step down, a 360 with a bar spin, going huge amplitude with the downside tail up on the quarter pipe. Coming into the first trick jump. A double tail whip right to the pedals. Josh Holt, one of the first guys to transfer from BMX and started doing well a couple years ago in modern day slopestyle. Backflip up, 360 down. Front flip over the longest jump on the course. Into the cannon log, tuck no-hander. Last jump for Josh Holt. Backflip, double bar spin.
Wow, nicely done. Holt smash right there on that one.
Well, flawless is the name of the game so far out here in Colorado.
So 3 full pulls top to bottom right now. Let's take a look at Holt right here.
It sure is paying off postponing to this evening. Josh Holt adding a lot to his qualifying run, that double tail whip. And check this out, front flipping the longest jump on the course and making it look so easy, landing as smooth as he would if he front flipped the smallest jump on the course.
So now the scores he's looking to beat. 79.6 Max May has in that second spot, and then you got the biggest score that we've seen, first rider Emil with the 82.6. And Josh going to check in third place with a 74, so 74 even for Holt. And that'll be the score he goes to. Put your hands together for Josh Holt, doing it for Rockwell.
Josh Holt, he's won a Dew Tour back in the day on the BMX bike, but started transitioning to the mountain bike a few years ago and definitely one of the top guns now.
Another guy that got in on the bonus by taking 20 over 16, Anton Thelander, 82.6 what he's trying to beat. He was on the outside. He didn't look like he was going to be in, but by the judges putting it together in the Colorado Freeride Festival, picking 20 instead of 16, this put him in. 11th in the FMB Diamond Series. 8th place at Swatch Rocket Air, and 9th in New Zealand at the Crankworks out there for him. So Anton Thelander just waiting for his opportunity to drop in. Louis Rabot will be coming up. Then we're going to see Sam Pilgrim, Tomas Limoin after that. And here we go. Here comes Anton, straight out of Sweden, 11th on the FMB.
Backflip bar spin, catching the bars early on the step down. That stylish move he was doing yesterday, that behind the back whipped out seat grab on the quarter pipe. Into the first trick jump, doing a backflip tail up and connecting nicely to that landing. It's hip and he landed appropriately. Opposite 360 up, flat drop, flip down, coming into the final straightaway. Lofty 360 over the dirt jump, scrubbing speed into the cannon with the truck driver. Taking a nice little pedal crank so he can go high with a backflip bar spin. Anton Thelander.
Wow, look at that. That is back to back to back to back good runs. Off the start, no problems right there. Like you were saying, paying dividends by waiting to do this thing tonight. Take a look at these replays here, Anton.
So you're watching some riders add tricks to their final runs, but you're also watching some riders really looking more refined, working out the kinks. So Anton Thelander, a rider we always associate with smooth landings. You coined the nickname Clean Lander, Brad, and he's definitely living up to it here.
Well, you see a lot of clean landings out of him. So now what's that going to translate into the score for him? Once again, we've got 2 scores in the 70s. He's got a score in the 80s right now. The judges really are going to have their work cut out for him, having guys like the caliber of Anton and Max May and Emilio Hansen going first. So we'll see where that one goes for him. Welcome if you're just joining us. Cam McCall, Brad J on the mic, bringing this one to you. Hashtag everything CFF 2016. You're taking pictures out there. Put them out there, post them up. And if you got questions for us, you can tweet those questions in. 74.3, so Anton will go up into 3rd place, a 74.3. So let's hear it for Anton Thelander. And Louis Rabot. Now, yesterday, Louis Rabot was the 16th finisher, so he thought he was going to be the last guy in, and he had just squeaked his way in. But no, we took 20, so now he's in the thick of things. Gotta wonder what he's thinking right now, Cam.
Well, I'm excited to see him on that last jump. He always gets creative with the combination moves. Mountain biking is unique in the sense that it can borrow moves from BMX and motocross, and he takes advantage of that.
Here you go, Louis Rabot, first run.
Louis Rabot, backflip tuck no-hander, starting things off on the step down. A flare into the quarter pipe. All right, carrying speed through that berm, into the first trick jump. A double tail whip.
So now up.
Opposite 360X up, maintaining speed into that flat drop flip down, and then a regular flat spin 360 on the dirt to dirt.
The trestle log.
360 in that trestle log. There it is. There's that combo I was talking about.
Called it right
The
there.
no-footed double seat grab to tuck no-hander, and his feet were almost floating backwards as well, looking like a double seat grab Superman, then bringing the bike into his laps and taking his hands off once again.
So Louis Rabot now can do nothing but just wait and see what happens with that score, what the judges are going to find for him. Thanks for joining us out here. 7 countries being represented here. Your Maxxis Slopestyle final, 10 here. Looking at Anton right here.
There's Louis' run right here. Almost threw it away with that opposite 360X up top, but his ability to maintain composure and do one of the hardest moves out here, which is that flat drop backflip after landing sideways and long on that opposite 3X up, definitely showing his determination.
All right, Matthew from Facebook says, who do you see as your favorites? Well, I mean, with a list like this, who would you say? I'd say pretty much mostly all of them. 69 for Louis Rabot. That's going to put him in 5th place right there.
Well, to answer the question, you know,
What'd you say?
I've got my regular favorites, people that I love to watch, but as far as excitement right now, Emilio Hansen, the guy who started the contest, I was most excited to see him because he's learning new tricks every day. He's only 17, and you know, being on this stage means a lot to him because it's his first time being in front of this type of crowd.
There's Sam Pilgrim. Sam Pilgrim just took 1 run yesterday to get up in that position. Bypassed taking the 2nd run, knew he was in the finals. Here he comes right now, dropping Sam Pilgrim.
Sam Pilgrim, a true veteran in the slopestyle game, starting things off with a backflip, tuck, no-hander, a flare, a backflip 180 onto the quarter pipe. What tricks will he choose for his final run? The backflip tail whip, landing nicely sideways with that hip, connecting exactly the way he needs to. 360 tail whip up. Oh, no, losing momentum. He had to scrub it off, landed long with his foot off.
Yeah, when in doubt, you don't want to do that drop right there. The
Well,
power
now he's
weight
trying to
step-up drop. Now, how do you get down?
Look how much space there is from the point when they land the step up to when they take off of the step down. Bring things back up to the top there with that flare on the quarter pipe. Then here's where things went wrong. He landed, it looks like maybe a little long and slightly over-rotated on that 360 tail whip. Made the right decision by not trying to ride off of that thing with potentially a foot sliding off the pedal.
Yeah, when you're on the power weight step-up drop, that's not something you just want to force yourself into.
Well, that's a veteran decision right there, because
Yeah.
if it's your first event, you're just trying to go out and prove something, you might take off that thing with one foot, and it's not going to be pretty.
You're probably going to send it at that point. Well, taking a look at how things are stacking up so far, there he is, a guy that wasn't even in the competition after he was outside the 16, got himself in yesterday when we took 20. He's the leader, 82.6. Then you got Max May second, Anton third, Josh Holt holding that fourth spot, Lou Urbo checking in fifth, and Sam obviously will have to work on a second run for that one for him.
How about that? Emil fending off 5 competitors already. That first run still holding strong.
Well, he's definitely not out of the woods. Tomas Lemoyne is going to be up next for you. And this guy's got the skills to get her done for sure. Tomas Lemoyne, you look at what he has done. He's qualified all the way. He's qualified for Joyride, 5th in New Zealand at Crankworks, 18th at Primeline. Or no, that was 7th at Primeline. So out of France, Tomas Lemoyne. And here we go, dropping it for you next.
If you're looking for those 360 variations, just like that right there, the 360 double bar spin on the step down. One of the most tech tricks we'll be seeing on that thing. I love Thomas Lemoyne's 360 variations. We're probably going to see a couple more like that 360 double tail whip. Perfect to pedals, no bobbles. Front flip on off box, landing smooth into the tail whip down.
Nice.
Looking so composed. 360 tuck no hander on the dirt jump. Into the lock, 360 bar spin. One last jump, backflip bar spin for Thomas Lemoyne.
Down perfectly right there. Thomas Lemoyne, put your hands together for Lemoyne on that one. That's going to be a good run, and one thing that stands out on that run is how smooth he was. Take a look.
So smooth and packing in so much more than he did on his qualifying run. It's crazy to see what these guys are capable of in the finals compared to qualies. When you watch qualies, it's the best as it can get. Then all of a sudden, they're just up in the ante.
And Lemoyne going to wait to see what that one is. The score to beat is the 82-6. That's what he's trying to get around. Cam McCall, Brad J with you. If you got questions for us, fire them off. You can do that at CO Freeride Fest on Twitter, and we'll read your questions on the air if we get time to it.
Well, judges taking their time right now with that score.
So we usually have time, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, last year, you and I read probably 100 of them or something.
We want the weirder the better is usually what we request. Yeah. We want some funny questions.
You got questions, send them in at CO Freeride Fest.
A lot of people
Twitter.
like to ask what the judges are looking for, and if you're looking at how they've been judging so far, they love the big time back-to-back-to-back variations like that 360 double whip. Emil, he's sitting in first, he had one. Thomas Lemoyne had one on that same jump, so to keep things consistent, they're definitely going to be taking that into consideration.
All right, so Tomas, what are we going to get for Thomas Lemoyne here? 82-6, score to beat. 75.6 into third place. 75-6 for the man right there.
And going into third place is nice when you've seen so many runs ahead of you that were such high-scoring runs.
So he'll head back up top here, and we're in the thick of things here. Your Maxxis Slopestyle final. 10 years of this going on. There's Logan Pete, locked and loaded, ready to drop in here today. Logan Pete's been a podium finish out there in Primeline, in third place for him. He's already qualified to compete in Joyride.
See you down there, boys.
So doing it for Maxxis. Out of Canada, here we go. Logan Pete dropping in, first run for Logan.
Logan Pete, opposite 360 X-up, spinning his unnatural direction on that step down. One of the most difficult features, he's choosing to do an opposite 360 X-up on it. Definitely worth a lot of points. Into the trick jump, the regular 720,
nice.
Stomping it. He did that once in practice. There we go. Oh, coming up short on the 360 bar spin, but somehow able to continue. What? Crowd's going nuts, flipping the dirt jump. Logan Pete with the regular 360 on the cannon into a backflip tail whip, spotting early.
How did he continue down on the Powerade step-up drop? You saw him kind of case going up on that thing. That back tire just clips it a little bit.
One of the attributes we know Logan Pete for is his ability to stay calm under pressure. When everybody's shaking in their boots, he has the ability to just focus on the task at hand. That's exactly what he did on that on-off box. Most riders would have stopped. He took a couple pedals, kept going to get a score in the bags, finishing things off with that backflip tail whip.
So do you think judges will ding him for that too, casing the Powerade step-up drop?
Yeah, but a whole lot less than they would have dinged him if he climbed down the ladder.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't even see any points coming on that. 82.6, trying to beat it. Logan Pete checking in. What's going to be the score for him to start things off? 2-run format. 58.6 into 7th place. 58.6.
You're good, Rob.
So that's
a good decision for him to keep on going, because that 58.6 is better than the 20 he would have got, you know, if he would have stopped his run right there.
All right, well, I got to ask you people out here at Winter Park, you guys having a good time? Make some noise for all of our riders here today. Come on now. Well, we got more coming up. It's your Colorado Freeride Festival, your Maxxis Slopestyle Finals. More of the first runs coming up right after this. Stay with us.
First thing I remember as a kid is first time they took training wheels off my bike and just kind of freedom.
The adrenaline rush is probably the biggest thing.
You get to go out and just be, you know, as corny as it sounds, one with your bike. It's a real thing. If you're gonna ride a bike, it's always worth knowing, you know, how to work on one.
There's nothing better than getting on a bike that you put together yourself, that you take pride in, and then also getting out there and getting it fine-tuned and dialed in just the right way, really fine-tuning it to the way that the rider likes to ride.
Like, say you feel like you're getting beat up the whole time, and a couple clicks here on your compression, a couple clicks here on the rebound, all of a sudden it's like a Cadillac.
I'm always a little bit mystified or awestruck when I can get it perfect, because it just takes a lot of effort and a lot of trying to get something right. But man, for you, or even just someone comes in and they're stoked on what you did, it's a really rewarding feeling.
Never a bad time on a bike. Everybody here loves to ride. It doesn't matter your skill level. Everyone just wants to go have fun and be on two wheels together.
We're all here to have, you know, for the same reason. We're all here to have fun, rip on bikes, enjoy the mountain.
Just having a good time, ripping up whatever we can in the dirt. It's great.
And welcome back. 10 years Slopestyle going on here. Maxxis Slopestyle Final, your Colorado Freeride Festival in run number 1's going on Majestic Winter Park. Cam McCall, Brad J here with you. Take a look at some of the highlights so far.
This is our number 1 standing run so far right here. That double bar spin on the quarter. There we go. Switching things up from his quali run. Using that regular tail up so that he can do this opposite double tail up on the longest jump on the course. That's a game changer for a rookie to know how to change a quali run into a finals run. Something that's going to sit in the first place spot for as long as it has so far. That's a veteran maneuver from our rookie.
For a young guy, right? Coming up with that one, that's for sure.
Look who we got next here, Brad, his countryman, his fellow countryman.
Yeah, and he's been having quite a year. He's second in the FMB Diamond Series right now. 4th last year, just missing the podium. Dropping in for you next, Max Fredriksson out of Sweden.
Max Fredriksson, so refined this year, catching pedals early on that double tail up on the step down, holding the tuck no-hander long and high on that quarter pipe, getting those amplitude points into the first trick jump. 360 downside whip on the hip, carrying speed through smoothly, an opposite 360 bar spin up, and a regular 360 double bar spin down. Backflip bar spin on the dirt jump. Wow, has he ever improved a lot from his quali run? Oh, no! Oh, just getting a little sideways on the tail up on the cannon log and sliding out. Man, what a bummer for Max Fredriksson.
Boy, that's all about frustration right there in his eyes. Definitely was putting together a banging run. Well, put your hands together for Max Fredrickson. Let's hear it for the man right there. He's got another run coming at you. Hey, Creeth Johnson sends one from Twitter. He says, what are your favorite trucks you've seen so far?
Oh, trucks? I drive an 06 Toyota Tundra. Oh, tricks. Is he looking for tricks probably?
Yeah, I'm thinking
we're talking about trucks with this run because he 360 double trucked off this here, opposite truck. Maybe he was asking about trucks.
He might have been asking about trucks.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
360 double bar spin down. That is such a next level move, but getting a little bit sideways for whatever reason on the tail up on the log. You know, on a modern day slopestyle course, the features are back to back to back. So even the little tiniest washout, you don't have an opportunity to recover. All but one jump completed for Max Fredrickson.
Now we got Lucas Knopf up next. Man, this guy has been at practice morning, noon, and night every single day. And he's ready to do it.
Face on, Brad.
Oh boy, does he. Doing it for Rose Bikes out of Germany, 9th at Montpellier, 19th at Primeline, Lucas Knopf.
We had a banger off this in qualies, and he does it again. The tail whip to bar spin on the step down. I've personally never seen that in a slopestyle competition on that type of feature. Into the first trick jump. 360 tail whip to bar spin. Wow, is he good at getting his feet on and throwing those bars. Backflip up the box. 360 bar spin down. Tail whipping the dirt jump. He's got 2 more opportunities to impress the judges. And he's going to do it with a truck driver on the log and a front flip tuck no hander on the last jump.
Yes.
Wow, Lucas Knopf.
Putting that fronty in, kind of exclamation point. Let's hear it for Lucas. Put your hands together. And then just getting one in right now from Anthony Mazzari saying good luck to all the homies out there. CFS, thanks Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, we miss you out here, buddy. So Lucas, the truck driver down. The most impressive parts of this run, obviously ending with that front flip tuck no hander, but it was at the beginning of the course, the tail whip to bar on the step down, and then the 360 tail whip to bar on the hip. And he's spinning the direction where you have to spin a little bit more to actually get that full rotation.
So Lucas will wait for the score to beat. The 82.6 is the best one we've seen. Emil Johansson with that one, our first rider out of the blocks here. We're in our run number 1, 2-run format. Cam McCall, Brad J, bringing it to you here. 10th year Maxxis Slopestyle final.
Wow,
and
look
he's
at
gonna
that,
check
Brad.
it 77 into 3rd place. So Lucas with a 77.
Solid score, being rewarded for those difficult combinations that he's the only one doing right now on this course.
So now we take our attention up top of this slopestyle course for Nico Schultz from Germany, doing it for Foxhead. He's had a couple decent finishes this year. I mean, 6th at Primeline, 8th at 26 tricks. So he's a kid definitely to pay attention to right now for sure.
Excited to see him on that last jump, and especially because we got an even bigger crowd here today. They went nuts yesterday for that trick and the extension. You're gonna have to just wait and see what that is.
So as he gets ready to go, this one came in for Brendan Troutman. Says, "Who's Cam's favorite rider?"
Favorite rider? Oh,
that'd be T-Mac, right?
Yeah, ride with my brother.
Yeah, there you go. Just throw your brother out there. You can't pick favorites. You can if it's your brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you've been riding with your little brother your entire life, there's nothing like it. So
awesome. So Nico Schultz getting ready to go. Here we go from Germany, dropping in. Nico Schultz, first run.
Nico Schultz, great extension. Arms all the way straight on that backflip tuck no hander. Going tuck no hander again into that quarter pipe, manually down that landing. Haven't seen that yet. Into the first trick jump, which is hipped, doing that corked out backflip X up.
The power step up drop.
Backflip tuck no hander up, 360 down.
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait to see him on that last jump. Lofting a backflip, coming up a little short, but that's all right. He's got enough speed for that log. Get those pedals. Oh, man. The part that I was most excited about, Brad. We didn't get to see that stretched out flip Superman.
Well, you'll just have to wait till a second run. Let's hear it for Nico Schultz right there. Put your hands together. Winter Park, taking another look at him right here. Up that power right step up drop.
He had the backflip tuck no hander on the step down and up on the step up, showing he can do it on both types of features. But the same type of thing that happened to Max Fredrickson on the same trick, on the same feature.
So that trestle log causing a little bit of problems right there for 2 of our riders today.
It's almost like they've been used to riding it and practicing the wind so much. Right now the wind seems calm, but is there like a phantom side wind going on? I don't know.
Well, you can make a good point because these guys have been practicing because the wind's picked up at 11 o'clock every day and has done that for the last 3 days. So these guys have had to practice in the wind. So 10th place, Nico Schultz with that 32.6. He'll definitely look to try and knock that one out. What do you say about our next guy, Ryan Nyquist?
Never heard of him. Tell me about him.
Oh, man, 37 years young and a rookie to MTP out here for mountain biking. And a guy that just is a hard charger. And rumor has it he's earned a spot at Joyride, so he's going to be out there.
Earned it the hard way, you know, putting in the hard hours, training, and going to all the difficult events in Europe.
Here we go. Ryan Nyquist, run number 1.
360 suicide no-handed double bar spin into riding all the way up the wall ride, bar spinning out of the top of that thing. They're going to love the use of course and amplitude on that. Backflip one-handed X up on the hip. Hard to do a straight flip variation on that hip. Backflip bar spin up. 360 down.
Nice.
It's going to get interesting here. 360. Oh! No.
No, you did not just blow a tire.
Oh.
Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd getting behind Nyquist, the legend.
Brad, all you had to do was say his name at the top of his run, and the crowd was already going wild.
You know what? Let's give it up for Ryan Nyquist out here. Put your hands together. There's a legend in the house. So sick. Boy, he was having a good one on that time, too.
Hearing the crowd give him so much respect gives me goosebumps.
And look, he got second at Mount Payet. He got out there. He was second place at AT Showdown, 6th at Swatch Rocket Air, qualified for Joyride. But this guy right here, he is your defending champ from last year. That's right, first last year.
I think he just ripped one.
A 9th at 26 tricks. Did everyone back away from him? Is that what happened?
I hope he didn't push too hard.
And you can see him wearing the Magaza shirt right there. He was, Carson, of course, really good friends with Magaza, with Kelly McGarry.
Here we go, getting the knuckles from James Jackson up there.
Good. So here we go. He's such an exciting rider to watch, trying to earn a spot to Joyride. Here we go, Carson Storch, first run of the day.
Defending champion dropping into the 360 table on the step down. So much amplitude on that quarter pipe. Airing that back tire up and over that wood, transferring into the berm. 360 tail up on the first trick jump.
Yeah.
Right to the pedals like we'd expect from Carson Storch.
Powerade step up drop.
Tail whip up. The flat drop flip down that he used to win last year. 360 tabletop on that dirt jump into the cannon. Opposite rotated 360 on the cannon. And a backflip tail up to finish things off. Nice work, Carson.
I mean, how do you stack this run, Cam? When you look at all the good runs we've seen so far, how do you stack Carson's run towards them? What are the judges thinking?
Well, Carson's playing his cards right now. He knows he has a run in his quiver that scores high based off of the qualifying runs from yesterday and based off the fact that he won last year. And you know what? He's dealing with a little bit of a rolled ankle right now. So we talk about strategy. Some riders go for the banger run twice in a row. Some riders try to put a safety run in the bag, then have an opportunity, have something to fall back on the second run. So having one in the bag is a great place to be for Carson Storch.
So now where do the judges put him with the mix of the rest of the riders? Look, he know he can do it. 82.6, that's the score he's trying to beat here. Run number 1, score coming in for Carson Storch, the defending champ from last year. And he's going to check in with his score of 68.3. So he'll go in the top 10. He'll go in that 8th spot. And remember, once again, Carson is trying to battle for one of those 2 Joyride spots that are up for grabs here today. And speaking of which, so is this man right now, Drew Bazanson. The same deal for him, doing it for Red Bull. 8th, the solid finish in prime line. So a top 10, 8th place finish for him. And if he could be one of the top unqualified riders for Joyride, he would get himself in the mix, and he has been battling to try and make it to Joyride all year long. Here we go from Canada, drop it in for you next for Red Bull, Drew Bazanson.
Back bar spin to X up on the step down. Up in the ante for what he did in qualifying. It all comes down to this for Drew Bazanson, his year-long quest for Joyride. This is his opportunity. 360, one-footed can X up, putting his foot over the top tube, turning the bars backwards during a 360. 360, one-handed X up. And a truck driver down, that 360 bar spin. Backflip X up on the dirt jump, just barely pulling it around. 360 off the cannon into the last jump. Drew Bazanson, backflip tail whip coming up short, but staying on the bike.
So that'll hurt him right there at the end. But put your hands together. It's been a battle all year for that man. Let's hear it for Drew Bazanson. taking another look.
So the level right now is nuts, so he knows he needs to up the ante from his qualifying run. He did it with that backflip bar spin to X up on the step down. And then a similar run toward the bottom that we saw in qualifying. Knowing he has that in the bag, trying to get a safety score in, but coming up short on that backflip tail whip, just not getting the distance. It's definitely going to hurt his score, but at least it happened on the last jump and not the first.
Yeah, so should still possibly get somewhat of a decent score for him, but he's going to have to count. He's going to need a near clean run on that second run just to be able to get up there. Like I said, it's been the battle. There's 2 spots up for grabs for Joyride in this group of 19 riders. So 8 of them are already in. So 11 guys are battling for the final 2 spots to get into Joyride. And that man being one of them. Carson Storch also being one who we had just saw. Look at that, time for an autograph. What? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's been the focus of Drew Bazantin's year is trying to get into that Joyride, and it's been, it's been a bit of a brutal quest. It's a very difficult game right now. The level that everybody's on, just seeing, one of the riders in the field who's also going for that wild card, Emil Johansson, dodging a lot of bullets right now.
Yeah.
All these Diamond Series guys who are already into Joyride, he's beating them. And then a guy like Drew Bazantin who's gunning for the same exact thing he's gunning for. Still standing on that top spot is Emil from Sweden.
Now we got Paul Genovese ready to go. 82.6 to score.
Good.
That's the one we're trying to beat. And I'll tell you what, when the first guy out of the blocks puts up the biggest score, that sends a message to the rest of the riders. Now you can see Tommy G in the back. He's going to be coming up right after Paul. Paul, one of those guys too. He's trying to get one of those spots at Joyride. He's not in Joyride as of yet. 11th at Primeline, 13th at Joyride last year.
Yep.
Trying to earn an invitation. Here we go, Paul Genovese.
Watch him on this step down. Backflip, double bar spin.
Wow,
he did that one time in practice. All the other riders just erupted with excitement for him. Big score for that backflip double bar spin on the start step down. A double tail whip on the hip jump. Rolling into the step up. A backflip bar spin up. A 360 bar spin down. Comboing every single feature so far. A backflip on that dirt to dirt. Tail up on the cannon log.
Yeah.
And where are we going to see this again? Backflip Superman C grab. What a crowd pleaser. Now he's the only guy in the field we've been seeing all week decide to go upside down, put his hand on his seat, and extend his legs out. Looking forward to a replay from Paul's run right here, that double tail whip. Making it look too easy right there. The judges love when you make a difficult trick look effortless. Favorite part of this run for me, backflip
Right
Superman
there.
C grab.
Right there.
He's got one of the best Superman C grabs in the biz, right side up, and now he's doing them upside down.
Paul Genovese, can he get a good score here? That's what he's trying to do, earn that spot. Head on back to Joyride. That's what the goal for him is a solid finish. Coming up for you, we're going to see Tommy G, Matt Jones, Nikolai Rogacki, and then Brett Reeder, all in that order to finish up the first runs. But what will the score be for Genovese? Trying to crack that top is an 82.6. Emil Johansson dropping that bomb, the first rider out. Where's Genovese going to check in? Into 5th place, 74.6. Let's hear it for Paul Genovese. He's happy with that one.
Amazing run for Paul, and bobbling barely on that flip Superman C grab, knowing he has, even if he decides to do that same exact run next time, he knows he has something to improve upon. He already got a good score with the tiny little bobble, so it's good to see. He's sitting in a good spot right now.
Yeah, taking a look at it right there. Emil Johansson holding it down, 82.6. Max May not too far behind him. Lucas Knopf in that 3rd spot. Thomas Lemoyne in that 4th. Genovese nestling into that 5th spot. Anton Thielander a 74.3 for him. Bringing it down to Josh Holt in 7th. Louis Urbeau holding out 8th. Your defending champ from last year, that's Carson Storch. He's need to clean up that 68.3. He's in that 9th spot. Logan Pete. And then Drew Bazantin and Max Fredrickson right there, down 1 through 12. And the rest of the guys, Nico, Ryan Nyquist. And too bad about that blown tire, but you know Ryan was on a good run right there. All right, you guys, well, stay with us. Tommy G coming up, Matt Jones, Nikolai Rogacki, Brett Reeder, all on the way. We're continuing more with the first runs coming your way next, right after this.
I don't know. I love it all. Mostly the ability of being able to just get away and just be on the mountain and nature and get some fresh air. It helps me focus and concentrate on one thing and get my mind off of the rest of the world. There's really nothing like it. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't ride a bike. This is kind of my therapy. Let go of everything else, forget about everything else that's going on. Focus on your next turn or jump. They say if you stop moving, you kind of die in a way, so this helps keep me moving and awake and alive. It's intimidating, and a lot of people just choose not to do it because it is scary, it's dangerous. You really don't know what to expect until you do it. Some days you have really good days, and some days you have really bad days, but if you go biking on any of those days, it makes it better, always makes it better.
And back to your Maxxis Slopestyle, final 10th year, going on a decade of Slopestyle here at Winter Park, part of your Colorado Freeride Festival. 7 countries, 19 riders battling it out, and our top 4 qualifiers to go right now. Tommy G doing it for Red Bull. Here he comes, dropping it next, his first run.
Thomas Janon, double truck driver off the Colorado Freeride Festival drop. Wow, so unique, boosting to the top of that monster wall ride there with a seat grab Indian Air. And the New Belgium hip. Wow, oh, cork 720.
Get it.
Coming up a little short, but not even having to take a pedal to make up for it. Opposite tail whip of the Powerade step-up drop. Double tail whip on the dirt to dirt. Opposite 360.
Trestle log.
And a 360 seat grab Indian Air. Wow, what a save. Coming up short on that Maxxis Super Booter, getting his feet on and his hands on. Coming up like 3 inches short, but somehow rodeoing it out. Look at that seat grab Indian Air on the quarter pipe. And this is something that's gonna definitely weigh heavy on his score right there. That cork 720, judges loved that yesterday as other people's run. Tommy G taking note, throwing it into his.
So you're seeing a little bit of trouble on some of the speed on that last booter on the Maxxis Super Booter, and these guys have had a tailwind for the last few days, and the wind has pretty much dropped off. So we're seeing some guys just kind of case that Maxxis Super Booter a little bit there, Cam, at the end.
Yeah, it's been a tailwind, like you said, so they're adjusted to a speed where you have to kind of tap brake a little bit, and then when the wind dies, you don't have that little push at your back, which is ideal because you don't want any wind ideally. But it takes a little bit of adjusting. So you're seeing a couple riders come up short on that jump. They'll take note and add a little bit more speed to it in the second runs.
And if you got questions for us, you can fire those off on Twitter at CEO Freeride Fest for Cam or myself. Thanks for joining us. Everyone joined us on the web. It's good to have you guys along. 10th year. Tommy G score coming in, trying to beat the 82.6. He's going to check in at 8th place, 71.6 for Tommy G.
Wow, Tommy G, you can see the reaction on his face there going, whew. You know, I did some unique stuff, but yeah, there was the bobble on that last jump, so he knows where to improve in run 2.
Then there's Matt Jones now out of Great Britain. Matt Jones. He was 5th place last year here, 6th at Glenride, 2nd at Wide Style, doing it for Red Bull. And your number 3 qualifier. This guy's excited to watch. Here we go, Matt Jones coming in hot.
Matt Jones, another rider on an upward trajectory, starting this run with a very, very stretched back from tough no-hander. Oh, under-rotating the flare on the monster wall there. Unfortunately, sliding into home plate. Darn, that's going to be the end of his first run, but he's got another chance. He looked so solid yesterday. I want to see him come out guns blazing in run 2.
You see him talking, definitely deflated after that when that happens on your second feature.
Well, the crazy thing is he was doing it repetitively in practice, time after time after time, just flawlessly landing that flare. But it's really hard to know how much speed to scrub into that thing. You have so much speed coming in off the step down, and you got to get rid of enough, but not too much.
So taking a look at right there, and look, those two guys at the top, Emil Johansson, 82.6. He's trying to make his way to Joyride. Probably going to do it with that one. Max May in that second spot, following it all the way down there. But the battle, I mean, there's only 2 spots remaining, and you brought it up. Our top 2 guys are in the hunt for those spots to earn it in the Joyride, and right now, they're in the lead.
Well, we're really getting into the part of the order now where we're getting into our heavy hitters, the guys who are leading the Diamond Series like Nikolai Rogakin, the guys who are already pre-qualified for Joyride.
Well, here we go. Nikolai Rogakin, first run.
Back flipping the step down. Judges are looking for variations on that, but he's going to get crazy here on the rest of the run. The 540 landing perfect on the quarter pipe. Into the New Belgium hip. With the triple tail whip. I had a feeling we might see that. Watch this. Tail whip to bar spin on the step up. Dropping that foot into the back flat 360. Wow, front flip tuck, no hander. Double tail whip on the log. One last feature for Nikolai.
Maxxis
the cash roll.
Nikolai Rogakin swinging for the fence on run number 1. Man, and you called it like, didn't get the combo on the drop, but you knew some crazy things were coming. He's pumped up. He wants to hear you. Let's hear it for Nikolai Rogakin.
This was so back to back to back. That triple tail up, I saw him doing lofty doubles in practice. I had a feeling he might be planning on that. The front flip tuck, no hander, taking his hands off. He didn't do that in qualifying. Double tail, and then into that classic style that Nikolai puts on that cash roll right into the finish line.
Well, what is the score going to be for young Nikolai Rogakin, your leader in the FMB Diamond Series? First in Prime Line, second in New Zealand. 82.6 the score to beat. Nikolai Rogakin checking in. What's the score going to be for Nikolai here?
Wow.
92.3. Say hello to your new leader, Nikolai Rogakin. Boom!
Wow, Nikolai showing that if you have a crazy enough run in the middle and bottom of the course, you can get away with straight flipping that start step down. Wow, what a score, what a run. So cool to see him back out here, thinking back to the fact that he started his slopestyle career right here on this very same slopestyle hill.
Oh my goodness. That.
Well, there's the reason why he's number 1 in the world so far, I guess.
Let's see if we get Lorette Nickel, third member of our team, to catch up with Nikolai. Lorette?
Hi, guys. Well, Nikolai, amazing job. It was obviously very important to you to put down a banger of a first run.
Oh, absolutely. The guys came out swinging, and we couldn't believe our eyes, some of the runs we saw. So I was up there. I knew I needed to put down something pretty massive, and I went for it. And these people were behind me, and I got it done. So I couldn't be more stoked, and stoked to watch the rest of it.
Can you tell us what this course is demanding of you?
Oh, the course is so good that like every feature can be. You can send your biggest tricks possible. Like that's why we see such big runs going down. So. Yeah, it's demanding because you know everyone's going to send it, and you have to as well.
All right, well, you obviously set the bar for run 1. What do you do for run 2?
Yeah, you know, I have some things in the bag for run 2. We'll see what the other guys put down, and I'm going to be sending it.
Nikolai, great job, guys. Back to you.
Who wants to take a guess what he's saving for run number 2?
You don't even have to guess what he's saving for run number 2.
Oh, man.
But the key here is, remember now, he's not the number 1 qualifier, so he's not going to get to go last. This man will be the guy who gets to answer back no matter what. We're talking about Brett Reeder. He's your number 1 qualifier from yesterday, and he's going to be the guy who gets to go last. So whatever Nikolai does, Brett Reeder can answer back. And believe me, if there's one guy that can answer back to Nikolai, it's that man right there, Cam, Brett Reeder.
Yeah, it turns out he's no stranger to this situation right here, qualifying first, having a bagger run in his back pocket.
Well, here we go.
Backflip tail up on the step down. Opposite flare on the quarter pipe, saving it, thank goodness. I don't know. Is he going to wash his hands of this run? Bar spin in the corner, and he's going to continue. So I don't know. Look at it like he got an extra move in, right? The crowd's going nuts, seeing that he's continuing down the course.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the run that he wants. So it's more just familiarity with the course at this point.
Well, Brett's got this game down to a science. He knows that if you want to win, there's no room for any tiny bobbles. He put his foot down on that flare, so he's going to wave this run off and leave it to only one more chance in that second run.
There you go, Brett Reeder. Going to need you guys to get behind him, Winter Park, because he's going to have one more run to get her done. So that's going to complete all first runs from all of our competitors here.
Well,
what happened here, Sam?
Well, Brett, like I said, he's got this down to a science. So putting his foot down just a little bit right there, he knows that it's going to have an effect on his score. So much so to where maybe he wouldn't be able to go into the lead, even if he stomped the rest of his run. And another factor at hand is he may not have had the right speed coming out of that quarter pipe. You need great speed to come in because he's got a big trick planned on that new Belgium hip. So it makes sense that he waved it off because potentially he couldn't have got his dream run.
No, and you spot on that one. So 28.6 for Brett Reeder. He'll be in that 18th spot, and he'll have one more chance to make things happen. But remember, the one thing is he gets to go last. So no matter whatever the rest of the guys do, that's how it's looking right now. The big one right there, 92.3, Nikolai Rogakin. That's 10 points. That is almost 10 points difference between Emil Johansson in that second, Max May in that third spot. Following it down, Anton, Josh Holt, Thomas Genon, Louis Rabot, Carson Storch, last year's winner, Logan Pete in 12th. And you see Drew Bazance, and he's battling to get up there. Max Fredrickson, Nico Schultz, Ryan Nyquist, and Sam Pilgrim, and Brett Reeder. That's how it's looking right now. And then Matt Jones right there, who fell on that wall ride, the monster wall ride.
That 10-point spread between first and second, that's kind of boggling my mind right now. Think back to Emil's run. I hope he's not getting, you know, harshed for going first. It's hard to set the scale when you go first and you have a banger run like that. But I'm just thinking back to the tricks. And if you're Emil Johansson, what do you have to do to beat yourself from your first run and make up 10 points? Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
The good news about that, we're not going to have to wait very long because he's going to lead things off on the second run. So stay with us. It's your Maxxis Slopestyle Finals 10th year here in Winter Park. We'll be back. Second and final runs. Stay with us. Coming up after this.
If I could ride bikes every day, I absolutely would. I always feel like I'm progressing. There's always a new feature, new jump, or somewhere to go faster. It was such a life changer for me, and I love it.
And welcome back to Slopestyle finals going on, Colorado Freeride Festival. First run's in the books, and that man right there is in second place.
Well, the bad news for Emil is that he got bumped out of that first place spot. The good thing is he's sitting in that first wild card spot for Joyride. So either way, looking good, but a 10-point difference to make up right here. What's going through that helmet?
So what does he do? I mean, he's already got the 82.6. Here he comes. Second and final run in second place, Emilio Hansen.
Emilio Hansen start things off right with that backflip bar spin into the triple bar spin. So he's already improved on his first run score right here. Let's see if he can carry the momentum into the new Belgium hip. 360 double tailwhip.
Goes
losing
down.
it. Oh.
You know what? He had a tremendous first run. You guys put your hands together. He's out of Sweden. Let's hear it for Emilio Hansen.
Wow, such a rigorous
Ooh,
week
is he okay?
for these guys. The amount of times he's done that trick in practice.
And you called it, already stepping up on that second run, going for the first spot. He wasn't settling for second. He was going to try and knock Nikolai out of that top spot.
Well, if he's able to stay in that second spot or somewhere close to there, then this is not a loss for him. You know, he's showing so much promise with his strategy, with his execution, with his ability to construct a run that's going to sit in the top 3 against some of the best in the world. So bright, bright future for this kid. And perhaps if he stays in that second spot, we may be seeing him next month in Joyride.
All right, well, let's take a look at the result right there. 82.6, the one he keeps, 18.3. Not going to do it, but Emilio Hansen looking pretty solid with that right there.
This kid's a fighter, Brad.
Yeah. Well, it's going to take someone else to try and get better than two riders to get better than 82.6 who are not in Joyride to try and knock him out. But right now, he looks like he's in the driver's seat to get out there into Whistler for sure. All right, well, let's check in with Lorette. She's got a special guest standing by with her right now. Let's send it downstairs. Third member of her team, Lorette Nickel. Lorette?
Well, Brett Reeder's normally flawless style took a little bit of a hit at the top of the course. Brett, can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I didn't actually rotate the switch flare that I was doing on the quarter pipe. I've been doing normal flares every time, but I'm trying to up my score and obviously, you know, get the first place. So you know, after a long qualifying and a long wind delay and then, you know, riding practice really quick, and, you know, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of physical activity. So yeah, hopefully I can clean it up and get down on the second run.
Okay. Well, when we have long delays and high winds and, you know, those are on comp days, how do you keep your spirit high?
That's probably the hardest thing about slopestyle. Keeping like a level head and like, yeah, there's a lot of mental stuff going on with every single athlete out here. So, you know, there's lots of people capable of winning. It's kind of like who's on it that day. Yeah.
Well, Brett, you have your second run coming up. Best of luck. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
Guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Lorette Nickel, catching up with Brett Reeder. And tell you, like he says, it's in the head sometimes. And that's kind of a big point that they bring up, especially with Brett Reeder. He's had laser focus every single day out here for sure. So Max May going to start it out for you right now. Max May, a 79.6 on run number 1.
Max May with that backflip one-footed X up to one-footed can. Big time 3-part combination move on that Colorado Freeride Fest step down into the new Belgium hip. 360 bar spin to tail whip. Wow. Climb back on the bike. Rolling into the on-off box. Tail whip up. Look at that. Flat drop flip down. Backflip tuck no hinder. Getting the combo on that dirt-to-dirt jump. Very important with the way they're judging right now. 3 in the log. Last jump. Oh, no! Wow. Going for the windshield wiper again, but showing how hard that trick is. Getting separated from the bike.
Man. What an exciting rider. Let's hear it for Max May. Put your hands together, Winter Park.
Wow, Max May already sitting with a great score from his first run, but changing a few things up, getting that 360 bar spin to tail up, getting that backflip tuck no hander on the dirt-to-dirt jump, and then down here going for that trick that gave him the high score from run 1, that tail up to opposite tail up. That sounds like tricks you would see on the on-off box with 2 features involved, but doing it in one air, definitely pushing the boundaries of slopestyle mountain biking. Luckily, Max with an amazing first run score, holding it down in a great position still.
Well, we'll see what that's going to do, but that's not going to challenge his first score. So 79.6, 92, 79.6, run number 1. That's going to be the one that he keeps right there.
Well, how about that? He's sitting in a podium spot still, and he's sitting in one of those wild card spots for Joyride.
And here's a guy that wants one of those spots right there, Josh Holt, a 74 for him. So basically, it's not playing that game. He's just trying to get something close to the 80s. Here we go. Second and final run for Josh Holt, doing it for Rockwell.
Here we go, Josh Holt, truck driver on the step down, boosting high, having to put the foot down on the quarter pipe and getting that downside tail up back to the pedals eventually into the New Belgium hip. 360 downside whip.
Nice.
I like how he's staring at those pedals with his eyes. Backflip bar spin, right into the 360 down, rapid fire tricking, into the front flip, tuck no-hander.
Oh.
Wow, over-rotating but holding on, tuck no-hander on the lock.
One more to go.
Backflip double bar spin.
Josh Holt rocking one right there.
Wow, look at the perseverance and the determination in that run. A few times it looked like he was throwing it away, but he kept his mind focused on the task. We just had Brett Reeder talking about how hard it is, you know, inside the helmet. The mental game is half the battle here. But Josh Holt keeping his head on straight. And check this out right here. Backflip double bar spin to finish things off. That front flip tuck no-hander was so on the wire on that long dirt-to-dirt double, getting his hands on right at the last minute, landing over-rotated but still holding on.
So what is that going to mean for Josh Holt? The score he had earlier was the 74.
Means I keep my first score.
So he's trying to climb on up there. Right now, Max May and Emil Johansson in charge for that last two spots for Joyride. So 69 on run number 2. Run number 1, that's going to be the run for Josh Holt. One more time, give it up for Josh Holt. That's going to do it for him here today.
Didn't improve.
Anton Thelander now. It's going to be his turn. If you remember what he did before Cam, that was the 74.3 for Anton. But you know Anton's got the bag of tricks.
You call him Cleanlander for a reason, right, Brad?
Yeah, he's smooth. There we go. So Anton Thelander, here we go. Second and final run for the Swede. 74.3 on run number 1. What's he got? Run number 2.
Backflip bar spin all corked out like you would expect from Anton Thelander. Going for the stylish downside table, the Euro table on the quarter pipe. Backflip tail up. I love how it looks over that New Belgium hip. You got to land a little bit sideways. He catches the pedals early, does just that. An opposite 360 up. Oh, he was offline.
No.
Oh. Anton Thelander taking a bow.
Well, I guess if you're going to end it, that's a good way to do it. Saying, waving to the crowd. Unfortunately.
Well, I don't know if this works. Going from here.
I don't, yeah. What?
Hopefully Anton knows whether or not it works.
Oh, yeah, well, he's going to go for it.
Oh, perfect. Proving you can start on the top of that Powerade on-off box and make it to the landing. Now this one's for the crowd, Winter Park. Yeah. A wobbly backflip.
Hey, let's hear it for Anton. Put your hands together one more time for that man right there. Fortunately, not going to get him up on the podium out here today. And Louis Rabeau, now it's all about Louis. A 69 on run number 1 for him.
Looks like we got Ridiculous up there.
Louis Rabeau. There we go.
Throwing the horns. Keeping it light, keeping it fun. He's got a great run in the bag from his first attempt. Let's see if he can figure out a way to up that.
Well, Rogakin number 1, Johansson number 2, May 3, Knopp 4, Moyne 5, Genovese 6. Here's Louis Rabeau.
Louis Rabeau starting out the same way he started that first run with the backflip tuck no-hander. Getting that flare on the quarter pipe. Now I'm excited to see these combos that he's been doing. He's been doing that double tail up on this jump. Gets it once again. Very excited to see him on that last jump, getting really creative. Smoother this time on the opposite 360 X up.
Nice.
And the flat drop flip. upside down on the flat spin 360 on the dirt to dirt. All right, let's see if we see that combo. Yeah, he didn't get the tuck no hander, but he had more extension with the legs on the no-footed double C grab. If you were to pause it, there would be a moment there where it looked like he was doing a Superman double C grab. So I know he wanted that tuck no hander, but I think he's gonna be happy with the replay when he sees the extension.
Taking a look at the replay that you're talking about, here's Louis Rabot.
Crazy cable cam angle of that double tail up, spinning the bike around twice, hop back on. And there's that double C grab, Superman. Trying to get the bike back to him, put the bar in the laps to get that tuck no hander.
Making kind of a triple combo right there.
So wanting to improve on his first run. We'll see if it does or not.
So run number 1, the 69 we talk about. Run number 2, that's the 66. So that's going to do it. Top 10 right there for Louis Rabot. Let's hear it for the Rockstar rider. He is done for the day. Top 10 finish. Sam Pilgrim now. Sam Pilgrim had troubles on his run. Netted a 30.
So we're looking for Sam to get past that on-off box now. He had a great run going up until that point.
All right, here we go. Second and final run. Drop it in, Sam Pilgrim.
Sam Pilgrim, backflip tuck no hander. This guy's a former FMB World Tour overall champion a few years ago, flaring the quarter pipe. Watch his precision right here on this backflip tail whip, guiding it in to a smooth land on the hip. There we go. He fixed it this time, landing smooth on the 3-whip, so he's able to get that flat drop flip, a move that he pioneered 4 years ago. Nice 360s. And into a cork 720 on the last jump. Wow!
Sam Pilgrim cleaning up run number 2. Get loud for Sam Pilgrim.
Pilgrim under pressure without a first run score to fall back on. Puts it down in the clutch.
And a good ending to that GoPro footage right there as you're taking a look at Mr. Sam Pilgrim.
Well, you
He's
know
known
this,
for those flat to flips.
You know this run is going to end up on his YouTube channel. He films just about everything. Very entertaining character. Cork 720, great way to finish off that run. Great to see him rein it in on that 3-whip on the step up, so we were able to see what else he had planned at the bottom section.
So definitely going to be an improvement on his score from the first run. Where is he going to go, though? That's going to be the deal there. As we wait for those scores to come in right now in the second run, it's Cam McCall, Brad J on the mic with you. Tweet us in your questions. CEO Freeride Festival. Olympian Ariel Gold is asking me, shouldn't I be commentating a snowboard event? Wrong season, Ariel.
There's a little bit of snow if you look behind Sam's head right there.
You can build a little kicker right there. You can't put a half pipe in there.
You can slide down that a little bit.
Sam Pilgrim, 30 on run number 1. Run number 2.
What's it gonna be, Brad?
75-3 into 6th place for Sam Pilgrim. Top 6 right there. Let's hear it for the man from Great Britain, Sam Pilgrim.
Yeah, looking good. Okay. Hey, you might want to film it.
You could totally ride that, for sure.
I was gonna drop in.
You got a front brake.
Thomas Lemoyne in the gate, Brad, looking really focused.
And here we go, Thomas Lemoyne, 75-6, run number 1, second and final run for him.
Getting that 360 double bar spin again. So he's on par right now to better his score. Cleaning the first 2 tricks that he did in his first run into the hip. Oh, wow! 360 tail up, so nose down. For a second, it looked like he was gonna have to throw it away, but he saved it. Front flip up, tuck no hander down. Right on the ground on the turn jump. Well, he's waving this one off, so this last trick's all for show.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Give it up for Thomas Lemoyne. That was for you, good people here at Winter Park. And you know what? Thomas Lemoyne, he's already qualified for Joyride, so we'll see him in Whistler.
Well, it started out perfect, and then this 3-whip almost got out of hand, but he somehow reined it in. Then that front flip, he must have landed a little less than ideal on that front flip because he didn't go for the 360 variation down. He went for the no-hander instead. But man, if you think back to his first run, it was so good. You have one tiny little bobble or you're not feeling it, then how are you gonna outdo yourself?
All right. Going to sign some autographs, Thomas Lemoyne. Hey, big props out to Tom Hay, of course, and Jeremy and Adam for Kelly's best mates for doing all the work out here. But big props out to the Trestles bike crew and their staff for doing what they do on this mountain. Bob Holmes and all their crew out here, the trail crew, we thank you guys for keeping things safe and making things so much fun out here.
Well, one nice thing about postponing the finals till later is this entire crowd, they're smiling because they had a whole day of riding in before posting up on this hillside. So we're looking at our leaderboard right now.
Yeah.
Brad, who's sitting in that first place spot?
Well, it's Nikolai Rogakin. No surprise there, 92.3, but there is 10 points difference between Emil Johansson in that second spot. But Max May and Emil, they are in charge right now for those 2 final spots to make it to Joyride in Whistler. Genovese, he's looking for one of those spots too. He's down in 7th. You can see him all the way down with Drew Brzezinski in 14th, Nico Schultz, Ryan Nyquist, and Brett Reeder in a spot we're not used to seeing Brett Reeder in that 18th spot. And Matt Jones, who was actually the number 3 qualifier, way down there too as well. So we got more. We got more coming up for you. Finishing off the second run. Stay with us right here. It's your Maxxis Slopestyle Final. Welcome back, everyone joining us out here, all you smiling faces here at Winter Park. Good to have you guys out on with us here. Your Maxxis Slopestyle Final. A decade of slopestyle here at Winter Park, the Colorado Freeride Festival. Cam McCall, Brad J in the second runs going on, and Nikolai Rogakin, he is on fire as you kind of expect, 92.3. Let's take a look at Nikolai's run and see how he scored that 92.3. Take a look. Here
he
we go.
got 10 points above Emil Johansson, so straight back up on the step down, and then we ramp things up. Slowly but surely, it starts to get real crazy. 540 on the quarter pipe, and then a triple tail up. So right there, that's a 360 double whip versus the triple tail up for Nikolai when you're comparing runs. And that's super difficult to do the tail up to bar spin on the step up. That's where being a bit more of a veteran comes into play, taking a trick that you know you can do and then applying it to somewhere on the course that the judges would not expect to see it. And then finishing things off with that casserole. Believe it or not, this may sound crazy, but if you've been watching contests this season, he has something more to add to that last jump, should he need to.
Well, here's a guy who's always excited to see what he's going to bring. Logan Pete now.
Logan, you're good.
58.6 is what Logan had. Podium out there in Prime Line. Third place finish for him out in Prime Line. And that pretty much got him earning him a spot out there for Joyride. So he's already qualified for Joyride.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a solid one in, and here we go right now, dropping it for you. Second and final run from Canada, doing it for Maxxis. Logan Pete.
Believe it or not, that's an opposite 360 XL. It makes those opposite spins look so smooth. It's hard to tell sometimes. Let's see if he goes for the 720 again. He does. Overspin 720 on that hip, even smoother than the first run. Truck driver up. Opposite 360 down. Backflip tuck no hater, getting the variation. The judges love that on the dirt to dirt. A 360 on the log, going real fast in the last jump. Backflip tail whip, stomp. Those feet are glued to those pedals.
Let's hear it for Logan Pete. Show your respect one more time for Logan Pete. Run number 2 for that man. 58.6, run number 1. Oh, that's going to be an improvement. Look at these replays. Way up there.
I feel like if there's somebody who has the opportunity and the potential to be the Ryan Nyquist of this sport, just keep doing it when they're 37. It's Logan Pete. This guy is so consistent, so smooth, consistently placing in the top 5 in all the top events, and doing just what he needs to do to pull that off again out here in Winter Park.
So what is the score for Logan Pete coming up? We got Max Fredrickson on the way.
How smooth was that 720 on that hip?
Ridiculously smooth. Smooth as butter.
Smooth.
So 58.6, 13th place. Where does he improve to? Logan Pete.
Just another day for Logan Pete.
Yeah, always smiles, always calm.
Just competing against the best in the world, no big deal.
And 80.3, third place for Logan Pete. That's a podium spot if he can hold on. Boom, boom.
Look at those hand signals. I'm not sure if he's like a gangster or a puppeteer.
Oh, man. So that's going to put Max May, that's going to knock him down a notch. But look, Max May still, and so Emil, for those trying to get those final 2 transfer spots to Joyride.
Ooh, look who we got.
Oh, yeah. Look at Max Fredrickson.
And if you think back to Max Fredrickson's first run, Brad.
Yeah.
Max, you're good.
Washing out on that tail up on the cannon would have been a very high placing run, so he has an opportunity to fix that mistake now.
Max Fredrickson, second and final run. Here we go.
Double tail up on the Colorado Freeride Fest step down. Looking for the tuck no hander on that monster wall ride, but going big amplitude, carrying speed into this hip jump. Getting that 360 downside tail up even smoother this run than he did on the first. Opposite truck driver up. 360 double bar spin is regular direction down. Backflip bar spin on the dirt to dirt double. Here we go. This is where he messed up. He stomped it. What did we miss from last run? Backflip tail whip. Look at that. Max Fredrickson fixing his mistakes.
Well, the trestle log had caused him some problems, but he fixed that for sure on that one.
There we go. The only guy who's doing a double tail up on that step down. So difficult on a feature where you're falling from the sky. And then the double truck driver. It's hard enough to do an opposite truck up and a truck driver down, but throwing the bars twice, then finishing things off with that backflip tail up.
So now it goes to the scoring game here with the judges. Where are they going to put him in there? You still got 10 more riders to go here to change things up. The second and final run's going on here. Live from Winter Park, Colorado. Brad J and Cam McCall. 36.3, that's what Max had run number 1. That put him in the 15th spot out of 19 riders. But you know he's going to climb up there. How far he climbs up, that's not up to you or me. So 67.6. So he bumps up there, but only the 14th place right there. So adding about 30 more points to the score.
And they're really docking any foot bob. That run was flawless all the way down to the last jump. The only thing you can take fault with, well, he missed the tuck no hander on the quarter pipe, so I guess it was that. So, man, splitting hairs here when the level of competition is so incredibly high.
Lucas Knopf, here we go. A 77 on that first run for him. Drop it in next from Germany, Lucas Knopf.
Well, to go from sitting down doing nothing to doing, oh, he's going for that tail up to bar spin. But, man, it's got to be hard to sit up there and then drop in and do one of the hardest tricks of the event. So he's got to pick up the pace now. 360 tail up, gets the bar spin on that one. There we go, huge combination on the hip for Lucas. Backflip up, 360 bar spin down. Loving the truck driver on the step down. Oh, a tail whip, recovering somehow, getting so squirrely. Wow, he's gonna have to wave this one off. getting so borderline out of control on the double and the log, but let's hear it for Lucas Knopf.
Yeah, let's hear it for Knopf right there. Lucas, 77 run number 1. That's going to be the one that he's going to end with. Hey, Deke Brown has sent one in, said everyone is invited to Ruby Hill Bike Park. Of course, it's sponsored by Trestle in the city of Denver tomorrow.
Man, I wish I was sticking around. I'd love to go check out Ruby Hill Bike Park.
All kinds
of
cool
Heard great
stuff.
things. So Lucas is obviously going to take his first run score. If you think back to that run, he had that tail to bar spin on the Colorado Freeride Festival step down. His 360 tail to bar spin was even smoother this run, so it's a bummer to see him not get the rest of the tricks at the bottom of the course. But we're on to our next rider, Brad.
Nico Schultz is who you're talking about. He had trouble on that first run, a 32.6 for the German rider. He went for Fox Head. You know, a couple top 10s for him too this year. 6th in prime line, 8th in 26 tricks. Here we go. Nico Schultz, second run.
Nico Schultz, backflip tuck no hander. He is the master of extension. So focus on that when you're watching his riding. If he's doing a tuck no hander, his hands are way, way off. So there's that off-axis flat spin X up on the hip. I cannot wait to see him on that last jump. Backflip up, the Powerade on-off box, 360 down. Backflip tuck no hander. Once again, great extension. So talking about extension, let's see him on this last jump. He gets pedals on the tail whip. Oh!
Oh!
Wow!
How do you not break your wrist with extension like that?
I could feel the crowd.
Oh, man. Well, if there's one thing we got to take a look at, definitely that last.
If there's one single move out here that gets the crowd to up their decibel level when they're cheering, it's the bottom of this run when he does that backflip Superman. A master of extension, but then supplementing all those moves with tail whips and 360s and flips. But look at that backflip Superman.
Slips that pedal on that right foot.
So much commitment. His body is completely laying flat, horizontal. His bike also is, so his bike's about ready to land, and he's still extended. Somehow pulls it back at the last second.
Yeah, it's almost just unorthodox the way you see him, how you think there's no way he gets that bike back underneath him, but he rotates that thing back around.
I think he uses his helmet visor on the front tire to push himself back to the pedals. If you look closely, you could probably see some marks from his front tire on that helmet visor.
So 32.6, run number 1. Let's see what the judges award him. Run number 2, 54.3. So 15th place is what he's going to settle for. But, man, I'll tell you what, I've been waiting to see a second run out of this guy, Ryan Nyquist.
Yes.
Ryan Nyquist. Remember now, he had a blowout with that tire. And now you can hear the crowd getting fired up. All right, well, let's give him a warm welcome. Put your hands together for Ryan Nyquist, second and final run.
That 360 suicide, no-handed double bar spin. So much going on there. On the top of the monster wall ride, nobody's putting their front tire over the top of that thing. Backflip one-handed X up. He's got a fresh tube. Let's see if he can put this thing to the bottom. Backflip bar spin. Up the Powerade on-off box.
Nice.
360 down, Brad. There's that 360 one-handed
There it
X
is.
up. He cleans the landing this time. The rocket, feet on the peg, suicide no-hander. And a backflip. Double bar spin.
Backflip. That's a double bar spin in that backflip.
Oh, man.
Let's hear it for the legend right there. Come on, Winter Park, Ryan Nyquist.
That is classic Ryan Nyquist. Throwing in the style on the step down to 360 suicide no-handed double bar spin, the backflip bar spin up, the 360 down, all those required tricks. If you're going to do slopestyle, he's put his time in, he's learned the tricks, and then bringing those tricks that have brought him to the top of the BMX world, like that backflip, double bar spin, hitting the front brake and just letting him fling.
Well, Ryan has earned himself a spot. He'll be going to Joyride and Whistler, but he's looking for a good position finish out here today. So that's the run he was looking to try and get under his belt, and he got it in right there. So 31.3, run number 1. Way down in that 17th spot. Let's see where he climbs up to from run number 2. Crowd absolutely loving seeing Nyquist out here, getting behind him. So what is the score? This is a big one. You can see, and the judges doing a great job. They're taking their time, making sure they get all the scores in the proper positions. Dot the I's, cross the T's. What's it going to be? This is the
That's
hardest part
Just
probably
like-
for these guys to have
just
to
like
wait.
pulling your run, it's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Pizza.
Score coming in. Wow! An 80 for Ryan Nyquist into 4th place. Let's hear it for Nyquist.
Awesome. Man, it is so hard to transition from being a legend in BMX to then being able to put down a run like that on a mountain bike.
Let's check in right now with Lorette. I think is standing by with Nyquist. Lorette?
Brad, thank you so much. Ryan Nyquist, nothing like a little bit of pressure of a blown tire on run number 1. How did you put run number 2 together?
I don't know. I'm so stoked. Thank you guys so much for all the cheers. I could hear as soon as I reached that boner log thing. I just heard all everybody behind me, and I was just like, man, this is the best. Like, so as soon as I got done that, I just knew I needed another run or another trick. I'm so happy I can't even talk right now. Yeah, I'm good. Everyone have a great night. Woo!
Ryan, you guys are judged so heavily on execution. How do you make sure that you accomplish all your goals?
It's truly perfection. Like, the winner is going to be perfect. You know, he's going to have the hardest trick. So that's pretty much what it takes. In the riders meeting, they told us, like, we're going to be looking extra hard. So if you slip a pedal, there's pretty much a guaranteed chance you're not going to make podium. So everybody took that pretty serious. As you can see, the riding is like next level.
Well, you guys know that he is a BMX legend. So he brought over some pegs from yeah, let's show this.
Right there. We call those the homie haulers, you know? If anybody needs a ride tonight and you see me riding around, I can throw you on back and take you wherever you need to go. You know, if you're too inebriated to do anything, I can help you out.
What a wonderful man.
Well, great guys. So I'm told.
You are. All right, Ryan Nyquist, great job, guys. Back to you.
Oh, I like how he refers to his pegs as the homie haulers right there.
It's the sledgehammer. It's got shocks. It's pegs.
He said if your buddies are inebriated, he can give you a ride home.
Yeah.
How bad is that? That's pretty damn cool. So Ryan Nyquist done for the day. He's done his thing. Now Carson Storch. Boy, this is an important run right now. He's trying to earn a spot, a joyride. Here we go. Second and final run for the defending champ, Carson Storch.
Laying that bike over on the 360 table. Wow! Above the top of the wall and adding the variation this time with the toboggan, putting the hand on the seat, styling out that front wheel. A 720 on the hip. Oh, I was not expecting that. Carson up in the ante, knows what he needs to do if he wants to qualify and be back at Joyride this year. Flat drop, flip. 360 in that long jump on that nice dump, shoulder down axis, opposite 360 on the log, into the last jump. Wow! It was a backflip tail up, but it looked like his bars were Xing too. That was awesome.
And he is fired up, and so is the crowd. Give it up for Carson Storch, defending champ from last year, trying to earn himself a spot at Joyride. And this is how you do it. You put in solid runs and solid work like he's done all week long.
Look at this 720.
Perfect.
Completely perfect on that hip. It's so much harder to do that on a hip than it would be a straight jump. Getting that flat drop backflip. Look at that. Did you see his bars? It looked like he was doing some sort of backflip tail up X up or something. Man, he's dealing with a swollen ankle right now, but focusing hard because he knows this is a big opportunity for him. So doing the tricks he's been working on when it counts.
Well, I think for the situation for him, he needed to kind of get, I think, in the top 3 right now would get him that spot that he is looking for.
Man, what a run. I wish we could get a slow-mo on that last jump.
So basically, no pressure. You just need a podium right now to earn your spot.
Yeah, no pressure. It's crazy
right?
how this is boiled down. We were looking at how many athletes are already qualified for Joyride, so you're thinking, wow, they're probably going to make up the start of the order list, but we're looking at a lot of those guys who are rookies and trying to make their way on a Joyride sitting at the top.
Well, Max May and Emil Johansson didn't make it easy. Run to 81.
Yeah.
Third place for Carson Storch. Oh, man. Oh, did he need that one right there.
Oh, man. All the hard work paying off.
But it's not over. Now, what that does is put Nyquist down to 4th, but Nyquist has already earned a spot to Joyride. Well, Carson has not. So right now, he could if he ends up in 3rd place. But this man wants in. He's made the pilgrimage this year to try and get into Joyride in 1 year, switching from BMX to the big bikes. A 44 run, number 1. He's got the skills to get up in the top. Here we go. Drew Bazanson coming in. Second and final run for Drew. Get loud.
The focus of his entire season comes down to this run right here. Starting off with the backflip bar spin, tire sliding the top of that monster wall ride. Very creative use, of course. 360, 1-footed can-can X up on the hip. Very creative trick with that 360 one-handed X up the power rate on off. A truck driver down, 360 bar spin. Oh, missing trick on the dirt jump. Wow, knowing what the level's on right now, he knows that he threw that run away by not tricking that dirt jump.
Unfortunately, but put your hands together for Drew Bazanson. That's going to wrap it up for him. Let's hear it for Drew. He's been going for it all year, trying to get that spot. I mean, but you got to give it up for him, because he's only tried to do this in just 1 year full competition on a mountain bike.
Oh, and it took Ryan Nyquist 2 complete seasons to be able to pull that off. So it's such a hard transition to make. If you put any of these top slopestyle guys on a BMX bike and say, go compete against the best in the world, they're all going to have a hard time with it. So no matter who you are, transitioning into a different sport on a different bicycle is difficult. But Drew Bazanson, man, putting in all the effort trying to make it happen, just wasn't his day today, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I got to think with Drew and how talented he is as a rider, you're going to see more out of him. And if he gives it another go and goes for the second, which I'm sure he will do next year, then I got to think he'll be in all the majors next year.
I really hope that he does, because it's so fun to watch the transformation, watch him adapt tricks from one bike to the next, and with that end goal of trying to get onto the Premier Series in the FMB World Tour, the Diamond Series. I know he's got it in him if he sticks with it.
Hey, Leo Gambach from Plus Size BMX said, why do you think so many BMX riders are moving to slopestyle?
Because it's awesome, right? Is there any other reason? It's so awesome.
There you go, Leo. We answered that question for you. That took about 10 seconds to answer that one.
I mean, the sport has progressed so much, and now these guys are taking notice, going, you know what, I want to try that.
Well, and there's not a lot of BMX competitions, too, going on. So
it's true.
To have something for these guys to do, they want to continue. All right, well, let's check in. I think we have Lorette down there standing by with Drew right now. Let's send it downstairs to Lorette. Lorette?
Well, you guys, Drew and I were having a chat, and guys, he actually broke his back wheel on run number 1, so how do you fight through that?
Well, obviously I didn't. I kind of blew up my run, but no, I sprinted back down to my hotel room. We did a quick NASCAR change. Just a little too less pressure in the tire, and I didn't have the proper speed to get the job done. No, I'm just stoked to be out here. It's been a rad year just with the whole mountain bike experience, and the best thing is getting to come to these things live and watch the boys throw down.
But you must be so proud of yourself with what you've been able to accomplish.
Definitely. I mean, the goal was to make it to Red Bull Joyride, but this was definitely not a failure. Like, it was either a success or a learning curve, which is the Red Bull Series. But no, it's been a blast. It's given me such a balance to my riding, like riding the mountain bike and my BMX bike. It's just made me fall in love with riding a bike again.
Drew, what's next for you?
Well, I'm still going to go to Whistler. I'm still going to be there to cheer on the boys. I'll probably be on a DH bike and get some laps in. But after Red Bull Joyride, it's right back to the BMX.
Hey, Drew, thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, we talk about it too, trying to do it all in 1 year with the talent that we have out there nowadays in slopestyle. That's not easy to do. 92.3, Nikolai Rogatkin, number 1, Emilio Hansen, number 2, Carson Storch, number 3, Logan Pete, 4th, Ryan Nyquist, and Max May. So you see that Emilio Hansen would definitely, looks like he is going to grab a spot, but he could still get bumped by, I think, one more person, Matt Jones. You can see it all the way down. Lou Urbo, Max Frederickson, Nico Schultz, Drew Bazanson, and Brett Reeder.
We still have an insane list of riders to go. And if you think about how many riders didn't complete a run in their first opportunity, this show is just getting going.
Well, and there's 2 guys that are still, out of the rest of the riders, 2 of them are still trying to get in the mix right there.
Look at Sammy. Hi, Sammy.
Sammy up there. Good to see her out here. But yeah, you got Matt Jones, who's not qualified for Joyride. You got Paul Genovese, who's not qualified yet to get in there. And those 2 guys are going to try their best with one more run and done. We got Paul Genovese coming up. Tommy G on the way. Matt Jones, Nikolai Rogatkin, and Brett Reeder, second and final runs. They're all coming up. Stay with us. Your Maxxis Slopestyle Final, live from Winter Park, Colorado.
really fun. There's a lot of suspension in your bike, and it's really fun to bounce around. There's a lot of stuff hidden in the trails, like mini ramps and jumps and wooden features. If you're a kid, you should mountain bike. It's a lot of fun. I want to mountain bike till I'm 50. I'm Indy, and I'm 7 years old, and I love to mountain bike.
And there's a look right there of Paul Genovese, 74.6. That's what he had on run number 1. He's in 10th spot. He's one of those guys, Cam, we talk about it. He's trying to get himself a ticket to Whistler.
He's trying to tweet something right now, too, it looks like.
Hashtag CFF 2016. He was just getting his last hashtag in.
So if you think back to his first run, it was such a banger. He had that backflip Superman C grab on the last jump, just barely bobbling pedals, and that's what hurt his score, so he knows exactly what he needs to do. He needs to rinse and repeat, and then iron out the tiny little mistakes that existed.
But he would need to get better than top 3 right now to get up there. Here we go, Paul Genovese, his last run.
Yes! Backflip double bar spin again for Paul Genovese. Coming into the hip jump. Paul Genovese with that double tail up again. Catching pedals early, no head bob and landing, big execution points. Backflip bar spin up, 360 bar spin down.
Oh.
Oh, man, so many riders having a hard time getting speed for that long dirt jump. Oh, it's not gonna happen this time for Paul Genovese. Man, the speeds are definitely changing on the course right now, Brad.
Yeah, right there, Genovese knew that's what he needed to get a good run in. So that will dash his hopes of getting into Joyride.
So it started out so perfect with that double tail, the backflip bar spin up, the truck driver down, and then here's where it all went wrong. You know, he landed good, but he had to take some pedals. I'm not sure if maybe there's a tiny bit of a headwind coming into that section, because it sure looks like it with how much they're having to sprint into these jumps. Whereas in practice, what they're used to was a tailwind on that straightaway, where they're actually scrubbing brakes. So it just really shows how much the weather can play a part, not only if it's a side wind, because then it'll knock you off kilter, but if it's a head or a tail, it's going to change your speeds tremendously.
Yeah, we've noticed that it just has changed a little bit here, and we've had that tailwind, like Cam was saying.
I can feel it now, actually. Now that I put my hands up, it's definitely a headwind on this last straightaway. So for the riders up there who are yet to drop, just gun it.
So Tommy G now, Tomas Ginon, 71.6, run number 1 for him. 4th in New Zealand out there at Crankworks.
Yeah.
But 71.6 only nets you 13th out here today. So Tomas Ginon, here we go, his last run of the day.
You rarely see Ginon finish outside the top 5. 360 bar spin to X up. That C grab Indian air on the quarter pipe. Only guy out here doing that particular move. The Cork 720 on the New Belgium hip, stomping it. All right, he can do it. He's just got to hold it together on this straightaway here, where speed is an issue. Opposite whip up, 360 tuck no hander down. Only guy doing that. Double whipping the dirt jump. That's a trick that pushes you a little bit further forward. Great strategy. An opposite 360 on the log. And going for that 360 Superman C grab. Oh, having trouble with the extension, but doing what he can to get back to those pedals and not get docked for any squirreliness.
Well, they talked about the judges not wanting to see pedal strokes coming in, but at this point,
oh, that goes out the window when you get a headwind. You have to do what it takes to clear the jump first and foremost. 360 bar spin to X up. That Cork 720 right there, just making it over the landing, but carrying perfect speed through the rest of the course. Choosing a smart trick there with the double tail. It's going to score high, and it's going to push you further in distance.
You see the strokes getting in there and still casing that top, even with 3 or 4 pedal strokes in there. So whatever the score is, if that doesn't challenge the top, which I don't think it will, this will mean Nikolai Rogatkin will get on the podium for sure.
So you know what's weird is the wind is less than ideal, but in this scenario right now, you want to qualify high most of the time, but now the guys who qualified high are having to go last, and these conditions are changing, and it only takes a little bit of headwind to make a big impact.
So Tommy G, 72.3, 13th for him is a slight improvement, but that guarantees that Nikolai Rogatkin's going to get on the podium. What position that's going to be, well, that's going to be up to Matt Jones and Brett Reeder, because they still have a chance to answer back. Here's Matt Jones right here.
Matt, you're good.
A 5th in Colorado Freeride Festival last year, so top 5 finish for Matt Jones. Here we go, his last run. Get loud for Matt Jones.
All right, he didn't make it past the quarter pipe last time, so we really want to see him get a full pull. There he is. He stopped at that time, the flare in the quarter. Going real fast with his New Belgium hip. He's been doing the 720, he does it again. Nice work. So if he can hold it together on this last straightaway, a truck driver up, the flat drop flip down. This is where speed matters. 360 on the dirt jump, making it look easy. A flat drop.
Oh, can he keep it going?
Tuck, no hander. A double flip on the last jump.
Oh, the
yes,
double
Matt
at the
Jones.
end. Matt Jones, exclamation point. Booyah, that's how you do it.
Oh,
the first
man.
double that we have seen in this competition, but you knew he had it in his bag of tricks. Talk us through it, Cam.
Not only under pressure because he botched his first run, but under pressure because he knows that there's a headwind on this last straightaway. You need more speed than ever to do a double backflip. Here, this is really important. He had the backflip, tuck no hander on the log. That's going to score incredibly high. It didn't qualify. And then, of course, that double backflip. Man, oh man, the judges are going to love that run.
Well, let me break it down. Matt Jones, he's still trying to get qualified out there to go to Red Bull Joyride. So a finish here, a top 3 finish here would get him in that position right now. So he needs to take out Carson Storch to have a shot to get in. Storch is in that 3rd spot. So if he does anything 3rd or above, he would be in the driver's seat and a chance to go to Joyride in Whistler.
Let's pick out some highlights. The 720, the flat drop
I'm just
flip.
going to the double, man.
The flip tuck no hander on the log.
Yeah.
Yes, the double is awesome, but he backed it up every single obstacle on the course.
94.6, your new leader, Matt Jones with a bomb. Damn, son, that's how you get her done right there.
Wow.
So that's going to bump Nikolai Rogatkin down.
Are you kidding me?
Look at this.
Carson Storch is going to be bumped out to 4th now.
The guy's so psyched for him.
That's going to put Emil Johansson in 3rd now. So Emil still trying to earn himself a spot. He's still in there on the bubble to earn a spot, but it looks like he's going to get in no matter what. And Matt Jones has just earned himself a trip to Whistler and Joyride. So Matt Jones and Emil Johansson, it will make it official during the awards, but it looks like those 2 dudes right there.
Matt Jones has been thinking about that double flip for an entire year. He wanted to do it at the end of his run last year right here in Winter Park, but he squirreled out on the drop, wasn't able to make it to it. So redemption big time for Matt Jones, not only landing that double flip that he had planned last year, but going into the lead with it. He's got to be buzzing right now.
Yeah, and that's, well, I mean, when you're Matt Jones and you're in the lead right now, you have the top spot, but then you got 2 guys behind you. You got Nikolai Rogatkin and Brett Reeder. So you're guaranteed to come away on the podium no matter what.
A lot of reasons to be excited for Matt Jones right now.
Yeah.
Joyride wild card, guaranteed podium, sitting in 1st place currently.
All right, let's check in with Lorette Nickel, who's standing down in the mix. Lorette?
You guys, thank you so much. Matt Jones, you are sitting in the lead, and Cam McCall has long said that you are a force to be reckoned with. Do you feel like you just proved that?
Well, thank you, Cam. I'm just over the moon, speechless. It's been a long time coming. I've always wanted to be in Whistler. That's what I grew up watching, and well, my legs turned to jelly in the berm and I fell over at the end, so that's how stoked I am. Thanks, guys.
Are these speeds changing out here?
Oh yeah, I mean, I missed my first run, and it would have been good to sort of test out the speed, but I had a close eye at the top on what was going on, and I put a pedal in for the last jump, and that played to my favor, I guess, so woo!
All right, Matt Jones, congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Man, how stoked is he?
Well,
Matt
thank
Jones.
goodness, man. Putting in a pedal before that double flip made all the difference.
Yeah, how stoked is he and how pissed is this man right here? Because Nikolai Rogatkin, he never comes out to try and get second or third. He comes out swinging for it every time for the #1 spot. Here we go, Nikolai Rogatkin currently in second place.
Like you said, nothing but first place is ever an option for Nikolai Rogatkin. He's always gunning for that top spot. And if you've been watching the contest season so far, you know what he's going to try in that last jump. Triple tail, get it right to pedals on the hip jump. Oh, it's on. Wow! Going low and still getting the whip to bar. And the fast plant 360 down. Wow! Huge extension on that front flip, tuck no-hander. The double whip. Can he do it? He's going to need a lot of speed. The 1080!
No!
Oh!
Does not get the 1080 at the end, but let's hear it for him. A good effort from Nikolai Rogatkin.
Oh, man, Nikolai.
Just didn't have the speed for that last one.
Wow, listen to the crowd, Brad. Nobody can ever criticize Nikolai Rogatkin for not going for it.
Oh, man. That was a stellar run. If he lands that, he has a chance to take that top spot away from Matt Jones.
Matt Jones had to be shaking in his boots watching this run because it just progressively built in intensity. That whip to bar. He clapped his hands behind his back on that front flip tuck no-hander, rotating about 1040 of that 1080, needing an extra few degrees. But man, oh man, we knew he was going to go for that 1080 on the last jump. He did it for the fans. He did it for himself. And he can rest assured tonight that he didn't leave anything on the table.
And it's Nikolai Rogatkin. Nikolai Rogatkin doesn't play for second, doesn't play for third, doesn't play to get in the top 5. He plays for #1. He's always going for that #1 spot. You saw what he was trying to do right there. But unfortunately, just not having the speed on that Maxxis Super Booter at the end. So check in 65.6, we'll wrap it up. So one more time for Nikolai Rogatkin, 92.3, he's in second place. You see it in his face right there.
You know, he always wants to win. He's leading the Diamond Series, so he's upset. But, you know, when he's sleeping tonight, he can rest assured that he did all that he needed to do to potentially win this event. It just didn't go his way.
Brett Reeder, the last man to go. And then there was one. Brett Reeder trying to do what he can do here. Third in the FMB Diamond Series rankings for him. Doing it for the Trek C3 project. Here we go. Second and final run, our last rider. It's Brett Reeder.
The backflip tail up, no! Foot, but he needs to just carry on, keep going with this run. He's got the flare on the quarter pipe. I'm so excited that he's continuing. The backflip tail up, nobody else is doing that on that feature. The Cork 720, landing it. All right, he's got a chance here. Opposite 360 bar spin up. Flat drop flip with the one-footed can variation. Backflip bar spin to tuck no-hander on the dirt jump into the log. Double truck driver, one last jump for Brett Reeder. Opposite Cork 720 and he stomps it.
Oh man.
I am so glad he kept going after dropping foot on that flip whip because nobody else in the field is doing a backflip tail up on that feature right there. He just needed to keep his head on straight and continue down the course.
That's the only bobble right there is that foot dab,
and
right?
it touched for 1 second. There it is. Let's focus on the amazingness that was this run out of Brett Reeder. Backflip bar spin and tuck no-hander, fitting so many tricks in on that jump that's long and low, and an opposite Cork 720. Spinning his unnatural direction. He had the regular up there on the new Belgium hip, the opposite version on the last jump.
Well, is it enough to knock Matt Jones out of that top spot?
Thank you.
Or is it enough to knock Nikolai out of the second spot? It all comes down to this right here, right now. Can he do it? Matt Jones raising the bar out here today. He'll come away with the win if Brett Reeder can't top that score.
Well, man, it's going to be a tough one up there. That run was action-packed. He's fitting more combos in on places like the dirt jump. He had Cork 720s both directions.
94.6.
What?
Flip whip on the step down.
What's that? You're all right.
The double truck on the log.
So many bangers in that run.
Those are one-footed can on the drop.
Like best trick.
Oppo truck up.
Everything he was doing. 94.6, the score to beat for the top spot. Nikolai up there with a 92.3 in that second spot. Johansson would grab podium if Brett can't top his score. So what is it going to be? This is a tough one. We see the judges up top. They're talking about, they're making sure that they're putting the scores in the right place. That's why they're taking their time. A lot rides on this last run right here from Brett Reeder. It's been a pleasure here working with you, Cam McCall, as we wait for that last one. Stay with us. Awards coming up. Also, we'll announce the 2 guys that have qualified their way to Joyride in Whistler. So all the way down in that last place from 19th place.
Yeah, we got to get your score.
Oh, this is absolutely killing me right now, too, as well as I know it's getting to him as well.
You know, it's out of his hands now. He did exactly what he needed to do. Now he's just got to wait.
Exact same thing. You
can visibly see he's not happy with having to wait for this one to come in. Boy, this is a tough moment right here. Everybody watching intensely. The biggest and best year so far this year at the Colorado Freeride Festival.
Can you guys
10 years of this, biggest.
I don't think I can hear it.
Biggest entry field that we ever had. Over 50 riders entered in this thing. And it all comes down to the last run from the last guy, the #1 qualifier. You can hear the crowd yelling. Sam's still filming.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Where does he go here, man?
They need to just break the tension, give him a score. But I'm glad they're taking the time because it's very important.
It is. Run number 2, 81.6, 4th place, and that's going to do it. Brett Reeder ends in 4th. Put your hands together for Brett Reeder, and put your hands together for all the riders out here today.
Wow, look at the smile on Matt Jones' face, proving to the world that he is a slopestyle force to be reckoned with.
Well, I think the riders had a little something planned for a little tribute after this competition. But let's take a look at Matt Jones and look at his winning run today that earns him a spot not only at Joyride, but also earns him the win at the Colorado Freeride Festival. Check it out.
Don't mind if we do. So picking this run up halfway through that 720. And you know what? I was watching the way he was flipping that last jump in practice thinking, is he going to try that double flip? I knew he'd been talking about it last year, the flat spin on the dirt to dirt. And this was huge for a score. The flip no-hander on the cannon. And then the double flip. Nobody saw that coming. You know, we saw a couple in qualifying, but that's the only one we saw in the finals. And man, did it ever get rewarded. First place for Matt Jones, his first career massive slopestyle win.
Let's take a look at how things racked and stacked out here. So Matt Jones takes the win, 94.6. That earned him a spot out there in Whistler. Nikolai Rogakin comes on the podium, 92.3. Emil Johansson in 3rd. That means he has earned himself a spot as well. Right there, Brett Reeder rounding up 4th. Carson Storch, your top 5 with Logan Pete in 6th. Those are your top 6. Hey, everyone, please stay off the course for us right now. We need all spectators, please stay off the course. I think there's something planned with some of the riders here, a little tribute, a Magaza tribute getting stacked and racked for us. So we'll all riders stay off the course. Thank you for watching us at home. We got things coming up for you. There's Drew Bazanson rounding it out, and that is going to do it. The awards coming up, also the official announcement on who will be moving on into Joyride. That's all coming up. Stay with us. More when we return. We'll be right back right after this.
Denver Health East Grand Community Clinic and Emergency Center. Conveniently located at the base of Winter Park Resort, next to Ski Patrol. Our expertly trained staff provides patient-centered care and has all of the resources in place to put you back on the mountain. Convenient medical care when and where you need it. For information, call 970-726-4299. For a life-threatening emergency, dial 911. Denver Health, Level 1 care for all.
Colorado Freeride Festival 2016. We're 10 years deep. You know, back 10 years ago, we made a lot of promises to the industry about what we were going to do in our bike park with this event, how we're going to be supporting the athletes, the public, providing an experience unlike any other. We had a lot of old cross-country, hybrid, all mountain trails. Made big promises to the industry that we're going to make Phase 1 and Trussell Bike Park into the best bike park in the United States. And here we are. Amazing 4-day festival celebrating everything that we do here. Have amazing level of riders here for the FMB. We've opened up events to all different ages, all different ability levels. At the same time, Colorado Freeride Festival is happening this year. We're going into Phase 2, another 10 miles of trail on the backside of Trussell. All kinds of good stuff. So 10 years of hard work doesn't come without a lot of people putting their heart and soul into this. So hats off to bike park crew, patrol, senior management here, all the athletes that show up and race, all the families that bring their kids up, and all the spectators that continue to support what we're doing, not only in the bike park, but at Colorado Freeride Festival. Have a great day. Enjoy the festival. Peace.
Anyway, or can I say it?
Oh, yeah. Hey, put your hands together one more time for the Magaza tribute. Let's hear it for Kelly. Well, what an amazing day it's been out here. We tried to get this thing going earlier today. Didn't work out, postponed it. But Cam McCall, no one was disappointed on this one, were they?
That was a ridiculous show. So many surprises. We didn't expect to see one of the riders who got the wild card actually being the same rider who won the contest, with so many Diamond Series guys out here. But Matt Jones putting it down and definitely launching himself onto the Diamond Series.
Yeah, making a name for himself and also earning himself a spot. So for sure, big time indeed for Matt Jones. We got the awards coming up for you. Also, we're going to announce the two guys that will be moving on into Whistler, be going to Joyride. Stay with us. The awards coming up right after this.
Denver Health East Grand Community Clinic and Emergency Center. Conveniently located at the base of Winter Park Resort, next to Ski Patrol. Our expertly trained staff provides patient-centered care and has all of the resources in place to put you back on the mountain. Convenient medical care when and where you need it. For information, call 970-726-4299. For a life-threatening emergency, dial 911. Denver Health, level 1 care for all.
If I could ride bikes every day, I absolutely would. I always feel like I'm progressing. There's always a new feature, new jump, or somewhere to go faster. It was such a life changer for me, and I love it.
I'm fine.
All right, so as we've been talking about all weekend, we're giving away 2 wildcard spots for the Super Bowl at Slopestyle Red Bull Joyride. We didn't think that a wildcard contender was actually going to win the contest, but this guy right here, Matt Jones, did it the best way possible. He was not only the highest finishing non-pre-qualified athlete for Joyride, he was the top-ranked athlete, period. You won the contest today, Matt. You did the double flip. I know you were thinking about doing that last year, but it didn't work out. Is it a case of redemption? How good did it feel to stomp that?
I am over the moon. This event's such a good one. I came here last year and it was so much fun coming to North America. So I had to come back this year, and just to put a run together, especially second time round, I blew it on my first run. So much pressure for that second one, but the feeling getting to that berm, landing every trick is...
World of slopestyle begins to take this man seriously, right? Think that he's just a dirt jump guy, but he just won against many of the best in the world on a legit slopestyle contest, and now he's going to the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Matt Jones, you're going to Joyride. Yeah, Matt Jones! So psyched for that kid right there, coming all the way from Great Britain. But we've been talking about it all weekend. We're giving away 2 wild cards for Joyride. So who won the second wild card, do you ask? None other than 17-year-old Emil Johansson from Sweden. Yes! Man, Sweden has taken the slopestyle world by storm. It started out with Martin Soderstrom, then Anton, then Max, and now there's another one, of course, Emil. Dude, your first time to North America or what?
Yeah, first time.
And so you did 2 contests this year before this one. Tell me how those ones went.
They went well, I think. 2 5th place.
Yeah, so he got 5th place at
26 and Swatch Brown Line.
So a gold event and then a diamond event. So he hasn't done worse than a 5th place coming into this event. And then right here, you finished high enough to get a wild card. Did you ever think at the beginning of this year when you decided to be a slopestyle competitor that you'd make it to Joyride in your first season?
No, never. Never even thought about it. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Is it a little overwhelming, perhaps?
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of buddies who've been there and done that. I'm sure Martin, Anton, and Max can walk you through it, but it doesn't look like you need any help based on how you were riding today. The tricks you chose, the way you ramped up your qualifying run into finals, and man, started out, you sat in that first place spot forever. What did it feel like sitting in the hot seat for so long?
I didn't even know I was in first, so I don't know.
Well, based on how you've been riding, it's a spot you need to get used to, sitting in that first place spot. So really excited to see you going to Joyride. Congratulations. Let's hear it for Emil Johansson. Here you go.
It's not. I've done a million of these things. We can get through this. 2. All right, time to get busy with the awards. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, put your hands together for all the riders out here. These are the guys doing battle day in and day out. We're going to start with third place. Third place earning himself a spot, and he'll be going to Whistler Joyride. Put your hands together for Emil Johansson. Right up there, Emil. Right there, right there. Don't go too far. Third place, and with that finish, Emil. Right there, Emil's good. Earning himself a spot. He'll be going to Joyride. In second place, he came out gunning for the top spot. Coming away in second place today. Put your hands together for Nikolai Rogatkin. Don't be shy, Nikolai. Get on up there. Nikolai Rogatkin coming away in second place. And your winner, the Maxxis Slopestyle final here at Colorado Freeride Festival, a decade of slopestyle here at Winter Park, coming away with the win with a 94.6 and earning a spot to Joyride. Let's hear it for Matt Jones. There's your podium one more time. Emil Johansson third, Nikolai Rogatkin second, and Matt Jones taking the win. Well, that is going to do it out here for Winter Park. Great turnout. Thanks for everybody watching us at home on the web. ColoradoFreerideFestival.com. That is the website for all the information regarding next year's Colorado Freeride Festival. Go to ColoradoFreerideFestival.com. On behalf of Cam McCall, our entire Colorado Freeride Festival crew, I'm Brad J. A big goodbye from Winter Park, Colorado.